अंदर के खतरे से बचाएगा कौन? अंदर का खतरा अधिकतर प्लाईवुड से फॉर्मलिन गैस का एमिशन होता है, जो सेहत के लिए हानिकारक है। फर्नीचर बनाए सिर्फ ग्रीन प्लास्टिक, जो लाया है इंडिया का पहला जीरो एमिशन प्लाई। जीरो चुनो, खुल के सांस लो। Every living being needs a home, be it a hole in the wall or one with a swimming pool, be it on a high-rise or in the basement, be it a studio apartment or a grand piece of architecture, be it with a sky roof or one with an ocean view, be it a cabin in the mountains or a shack beside the sea. Every living being needs a home, because only a home makes the world feel safer. This Environment Day, renewing our commitment to keep all homes safe, clean and green, and abundant with fresh oxygen.
And also we can start the session.
Yes, display the front slide. Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. Warm welcome to the session on opportunity for decarbonizing buildings through eco-labeled products. So this is a wonderful session. This is a wonderful session on decarbonization. So at the end of the session, there will be a lot of takeaways on how eco-labeled products can contribute to decarbonization in building, as well as how it will contribute to enhance the performance of the building. So to chair this session, today we have Mr. Anup Matthew, Senior Vice President and Business Head, Godrej Construction. Anup Matthew heads Godrej Construction, one of the 14 business units of Godrej and Boyce Manufacturing Co. Limited. Godrej and Boyce is the flagship company of the Godrej Group of companies, established in 1897. As the head of Godrej Construction, Anup is responsible for Godrej and Boyce real estate and construction business, and Godrej Construction has helped conceptualize, plan, and develop over 10 million square feet of real estate assets and allied built environment in more than 20 locations across India. So he is also responsible for managing all the corporate real estate assets of Godrej and Boyce. He is deeply committed to the cause of adopting and promoting sustainable development practices in the construction and real estate sector. So Anup was awarded a Fulbright scholarship in the year 2012. So he completed his Fulbright program from the Tepper School of Business at Carnegie Mellon University, Pennsylvania, USA. So Mr. Matthew is the chairman of board of directors at the Institute for Lean Construction, Excellence and ECLOI. So we would like to invite you to chair the session, sir. Over to you, sir. So small announcement for the participants who have joined through CI Hive platform. So they can pose their questions through CI Hive platform. So if you look at on the right corner side, there will be a Q&A session. If you go there, you can post your questions that will go to the session moderator as well as speakers. Thank you. Over to you, Anupkar.
Good afternoon. Am I audible, Dhanarashu?
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Okay, thank you. And it is indeed a pleasure to be a part of this forum. And I take this opportunity to thank CII, IGBC for making this happen. This session obviously is with an intent to get a better understanding from experts in the industry about how they go about manufacturing products or using the products or specifying the products in the built environment that we develop, as most of us are familiar with this environment. As we develop, sustainable development is very essential for all of us. If we don't do this, the consequences, as we have seen over the years, could be very disastrous. And it's the expertise and the capabilities of people who are on the panel today who can probably share with us some of the work that they have been doing in this regard, so that our planet can become a much more sustainable and a good place to be living in, especially for our future generations. I won't say too much about myself. There's already been an introduction, but I think the important thing to understand for all of us is that there is only this planet that we have at this point of time. While efforts are being made to venture into other places across in the space, we are far from there. And we need to really take care of this planet while we are living together. It's what, if somebody pollutes in some part of the world, it actually affects other parts of the world as well. And we can see this so evident, more so in the climate changes that we have been observing of late. So I think the importance of this is clearly understood by a larger set of people. And I think there's an opportunity for us to share and learn from each other. And for that, we have an eminent panel today. We have the first person who will be speaking to us is architect Sandeep Shikre, who is the CEO of SSA Architects. Sandeep he's the founder member of the Indian IGBC, the Indian Green Business Building Council, under the able leadership of Sandeep. And his firm has grown from a two-person firm to over 200 people. And he's the head. Their head office is in Mumbai, and it has various capabilities over the years that they have developed. And the firm is recognized as one of the 25 top architects within India. And it has won several national and international awards. Sandeep himself has over 30 years of experience, and he's practiced in various parts of India as well as in Dubai and in USA as well. So Sandeep, we look forward to your session, the presentation. Thank you for joining us today. Over to you, Sandeep.
Thank you, Mr. Anup. Thanks for agreeing to host this session and be a moderator. I'm absolutely delighted to see all other panelists, and especially you, because you come from the decision-making background. And it's very important that the stalwarts like you, who represents a very reputed organization in our country, participate in this noble initiative. So I'm quite happy about it. I would quickly start sharing my screen. Just allow me to share my screen. There we go. So Unlike my regular presentations where we speak a lot about our work and there are a lot of architectural renderings and presentations, today's subject is very close to my heart. It is going to be very technical. It is going to be with some data and some analysis, which would be useful for the viewers. So this is about net zero carbon building, a role of products and material by design. So basically, let's quickly understand what is zero carbon building. Zero carbon building is something which is highly energy efficient, that produces on-site and procures carbon-free renewable energy, high quality carbon offsets, and counterbalances the annual carbon emission. So in a nutshell, how do we ensure together that the carbon emission that is being produced, how it can be minimized, how it can be brought to zero? So there is embodied carbon. Embodied carbon is something that is happening while the manufacturing, transportation, and installation of construction material. So before you begin on your site, you have all of these materials coming from various places. And what is the carbon emission that had taken place for those materials to evolve from its inception? That's embodied carbon. And operational carbon is when your built environment is in operation and what is actual carbon emission it has. So we have to be very mindful while we select the specifications and the materiality as to what is the embodied carbon those materialities will have. And of course, once the complete built environment is established, how do we see and how do we optimize and reduce the carbon emission? So the net zero building is something which is very essential today, because with rising global temperatures, melting ice caps, rising sea levels, and man-induced natural calamities, the effects of the climate change are now more evident than ever before. So there was an initiative taken by United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2030 and the Paris Agreement at the COP21. So it's very important that all of us together, the designers, the contractors, the technocrats, the manufacturers, come together and ensure that we move towards a net zero carbon building. Net zero carbon concept is applicable to all typologies of built environment. It may be a buildings, large developments, commercial, residential, campuses, townships, cities, and also infrastructure. It's all to be very mindful to take these steps to move towards a net zero initiative. Let's look at the chart. This chart can give you an idea as to what is the contribution of each of the sectors towards the carbon emission. You can see the building operations are 28%, building material and constructions are giving 11%. So together, it has a 39%, what is contributing to the carbon emissions. 22% is a transport. As you can see now, we are migrating to the electrically operated transportation system where the diesel and petrol will slowly and steadily will vanish. That industry is also doing a lot to ensure that they are moving towards a net zero carbon. And of course, industry. I'm quite happy that there are a lot of industrial stalwarts are here with me as a panelist from cement, concrete, and a glass sector. So they are also quite mindful about their initiatives, and 9% is from the other things. So as we can look into it, these particular net zero carbon building is the inventory of a greenhouse gas emission. So how is it measured? It is measured through the greenhouse gas emission. And there has been methods, the World Resources Institute, WRI, and a World Business Council of Sustainable Development defines and categorizes the emission as below. So there are three scopes. One is a direct emission. Direct emission is the electricity, the power, or anything that you purchase for your built environment. What is the carbon emission through that? Two is the indirect emission, where while you are developing something, you have a lot of things which is coming from the other sectors, which is there already happening. So the use of actual electricity and steam, which has been used, the company owners, their vehicles, what they are coming, the fuel conversion that is happening in the operation stage. And three, as I mentioned earlier, these are the indirect emissions. So these indirect emissions are something that has been supplied to your site, say concrete, say the glass comes from the glass manufacturing factory. So all your procurements, outsource activities, all the contractors while doing the work, they come from their vehicles, the waste disposal, and employees' business travel also. So these are the three categories in which this particular carbon emission is captured. The life cycle analysis is one of the important aspects for the carbon emission calculation. This is a very important chart. This tells you what is the current situation. What you see it here is the end use that has been using the CO2. This is what is a by scope that is today, and this is total today. So our aim towards 2050 naturally tells us that it will grow with the annual growth to a very to the very significant height. And how do you mitigate that to come to a 2 degrees Celsius temperature rise? These are the methods. So near net zero energy buildings, deep renovations, low GHG energy supply, and low GHG materials. So all of these mitigative activities, if they are done in a cohesive manner, together it will resonate our aim to come down to a 2 degrees Celsius temperature rise. And that's how everybody can set a target and move towards. These are some of the very important abatement strategies. We as an architect, the developers, promoters, contractors, and everybody can adopt this, maximizing the energy efficiency through a passive architecture. Passive architecture plays a very important role. You have to have a climate responsive orientation of your buildings. You have to have a proper envelope strategy. You have to use a proper MEP and all other engineering status so that your reliance on the active measures is less. Reduce operational energy demand and consumption, eliminate fossil fuels and embrace clean, safe, and connected mobility. Use e-vehicles, provide on-site renewable energy and storage where possible. Renewable energy is one of the biggest opportunity all of us we have. We are in a tropical environment. It gives us a good solar power to be utilized, good wind power to be utilized, good waste also can be utilized. Then you come to a limit up to embodied carbon. Embodied carbon is something which is hidden behind the curtain. So you have to be very mindful to understand every material that you specify or you choose, what is the kind of an embodied carbon component it has. Creating carbon sinks and the carbon capture storage. You look at the country of Bhutan, they are generating more oxygen than they are generating a CO2. So they are actually a carbon neutral and actually a positive kind of a country. And developing a robust ecosystem for green financing, that is carbon credits and green bonds. You need to incentivize the good people who are looking towards it. These are the methods, which are very simple methods that can be adapted when we talk about the materials. Those are used in green architecture. Those encourages good thermal performance, energy efficiency, water efficiency, resource management, and save general construction costs. The material long-term effects on the environmental are the key criteria for selection. Recycled products, natural, abundant, renewable materials, reusable and recyclable materials, locally available, very important. In ancient civilization, everything was locally available. So that has also helped to a great extent to have a reduction in carbon footprint. Materials manufactured with resource and efficient processes, refurbished, salvaged, or a remanufactured material, durable materials. These are some of the strategies that can be adopted. And here you can see each material wise, it's quotient as to how much CO2 per kg of that material. So 1 kg of aluminum will generate 11.5 kg of a CO2. So these are also an index which is for the entrants to understand while they are using the material, how they are contributing towards decarbonizing the building. So you can also see it very clearly says that CU data suggests that 85% of the floor space will be residential used by 2050, while 15% will be used for commercial purpose. So for our target of 2 degrees Celsius, according to IEA, the average building energy use per person per year globally needs to fall by at least 10% to less than 4.5 megawatt per hour by 2025. So these are some of the targets which have been set, which are quite convincing. These are the numeric measures for all the architects and engineers to follow. So it's imperative to deploy energy efficient and low carbon building technologies to meet the rapidly growing demand for the energy services without following an unsustainable pathway towards the high building energy consumption per person. This is again some of the low carbon materials, blended cements. We have a cement industry talking here, green concrete, green glass. Shailesh is here from Asahi Glass. He will talk on how they are following the green glass manufacturing methods. Stabilized mud blocks for masonry, very wonderful material, compacted fly ash blocks, rammed earth walls, bioplastic, low energy intensity floor and roofing system, mycelium insulations, and there are many more. So here you can see one by one. This is a Portland pozzolana cement, lower CO2 emission per ton per cement. So very excellent cement, has a higher long-term strength, reduction in the permeability, increase in durability, resistant to weight and thermal cracking. Composite cement again has a very low CO2 emission per ton of cement, improved concrete workability with better slum retention, lower heat of hydration and shrinkage, higher long-term strength and corrosive resistance. So you have enough opportunity to use these excellent materials while you are going ahead with your new projects. Lightweight concrete, it has a low density. Density is directly proportionate to the thermal conductivity, offers thermal insulation property to concrete, also contributes to enhance energy, building energy and performance. Pervious concrete, again, highly permeable, reduces stormwater runoff at site. Percolation rate is 200 to 500 liter per minute, contributes to rainwater management with optimum investment and maintenance. So these are different categories of a concrete. This is a high performance concrete. This reduces the size of structural member. Today, you can go up to M60, M100 concrete, which is will produce at a very highest level of quality. So that also reduces the construction material requirement on site, reduces the member size, increases the usable area. It's higher seismic, crack propagation, and abrasion resistant. So these all facilities are again available thanks to all our concrete technocrats and the concrete manufacturers. When we come to a glass, glass is very close to my heart. I'm the one who has been using glass in abundance. It's a myth that the glass is an energy guzzler. Glass is a conflict with the sustainability. Glass is a wonderful material if you use it carefully. It's something that uses the least amount of impact on the environment, and it's very green processes. It also occupies a less space. It's quite state of art in terms of its assembly, in terms of its execution on a high-rise, high-density project, and most importantly, it gives you a seamless connection with the nature. And also it's easy to maintain. The life cycle and longevity is wonderful. So all glass manufacturer, again, thanks to them, they have come up with the special series EcoSense glass. It enables to keep the space within the structure and occupants cool at every climate and weather. Opal glass gives you the solar control glass, is a green glass type that also improves the aesthetics of the structure that has been installed on. Great value of money, and it's primarily designed to keep heat away from the entering into the building. Sunshield glass again provides a superior cooling comfort even when there's a harsh Indian weather. It enhances again an aesthetics, gives you a good glare control, improves energy efficiency, and it comes up with a superior protective coating and keeps occupants safe from harmful UV rays. Super silver glass, it's a special technology where as an architect, we have a craving to have a clear substrate, but to have a better performance of the glass. So these are some special patented technologies which allows the glass to maintain its visual light transmission, clarity in terms of seeing the nature and the sky, but gives you a better performance in terms of its protection from UV radiation and other parameters. So these are some of the initiatives that has been taken by the people where their materials have been extensively required for our built material. Government of India has taken a great step. They are leading from front. You'll see that these are the various very, very competent and a very reputed organization, Energy Conservation Act. They have formed a codes and standards, Energy Conservation Building Code 207, National Action Plan of Climate Change 208, Perform Achieved State Schemes, National Solar Mission, Swachh Bharat Mission, Green India Mission, Smart City Mission. Each of these codes and standards will give you a lot of insights to enhance your performance for your going towards a net zero carbon. National Energy Policy, Sustainable Public Procurement. There are so many codes which are already there and many more are on its way. So this takes you about what is the policy codes for the building material. The fly ash utilization policy amended by MoEFCC in 2016 actually drove the markets for building products containing fly ash, such as AEC blocks, fly ash bricks, pozzolana Portland cement. So these are all very thoughtful, well-tested material, and they are actually today quite very well available at a very competent rate. So the industry is fully established and stabilized to give you that kind of a confidence, and this can be utilized in a very judicious manner. You can also look into ready reckoner, utilization of recycled produce of construction and demolition waste 2018. So these are so many means and ways that you can access and see your performance, because they all have a numeric standards. The Bureau of Energy Efficiency, of course, is doing a great job in terms of energy conservation building code. ECBC, all of you know, it's there, and it's been constantly updating and improvising on their codes and standards. The new revised 2017 almost captures every aspect. It's internationally comparable. So we have all of these facilities for us while we are responsible for coming up a new built environment. And we are into that stage where our country requires 200 smart cities. Our country requires 1.5 times of built environment that we already have. So we have a huge responsibility to ensure that whatever we do it with the proper thought process, and we do it with a proper mindful approach, and it's doable. GreenPro materials, brilliant. I'm extremely delighted to see the great initiative by CII IGBC, Karthikeyan and their team. They're leading. There are so many unsung heroes who have been relentlessly working 24/7, 365 days. And it's a great step to eco-label the products. So that actually gives an opportunity for manufacturers, designers, developers to understand the product's performance. And this is also now accredited by Global Eco-Labeling Network, GEN, through a Genesis. So internationally coordinated eco-labeling system. Life cycle approach. So GreenPro evaluates a product based on the holistic life cycle based approach and awards the eco-label. It kind of gives you an endorsement, validation, and assurance that these are the products, they are well tested, raw materials, manufacturing process, product performance during use, recycling, disposal, and the team is raising bar every day. They are looking into every aspect, how the raw material comes, how it is reused, recycle, what happens on a construction site, transportation, production, services. So it's a 360-degree overview of materials, and that's how the eco-labeling is given place. GreenPro eco-label benefits, of course, time and efforts in carrying out due diligence, which is already been done by an expert team. It gives you an assurance about the performance of the product, ensures toxic and hazardous substance-free products, which are in turn enhances the health and well-being, improves the product performance, reduces the resource consumption and environmental impacts, and it gives you a recognition and credits when you want to go for a green building, green co-rating systems. For the manufacturer also, it gives you a differentiation within your product and other competitive products, increase the market reach out. Once you are flashed on the eco-label product, you have a wider exposure to your clients and your users, easier to convince the specifics because you have been weighted and you have been labeled from an independent agency, enhances resource efficiency during manufacturing. It kind of sets you a goal as to how do you want to go to the next stage. So always it's better to be there in that competitive kind of evaluation methodology. It acts as a driver for achieving environmental excellence and enables innovation. So GreenPro evaluation criteria, it talks about product design, it talks about product performance, it talks about raw material, it talks about manufacturing process, how the manufacturing process is also green. It looks into, as I mentioned, a complete holistic approach from beginning till the entire product is fully manufactured. What is the waste that is generated, how that particular waste is recycled, if it is can be done, how it is disposed, how it has been tracked with the life cycle analysis, it looks into it. The product stewardship, also the certification recognizes the measures implemented by the product manufacturer to reduce its environmental impact and health impact. So it kind of gives you a full evaluation. And of course, innovation is the key. The certification also recognizes the innovative measures implemented by the product manufacturers, which had resulted in sustainable reduction in environmental impact exceeding the threshold level specified in the certification standard. So these are the things, a small example how active and passive participant can give you a better results. You can reach towards a net zero carbon. Lot depends on architect and his associate consultant and also the technology providers. How do you create your built environment, which is excellent in terms of its passive planning? It has to be microclimate responsive. And when your passive planning threshold reaches, you start relying on the active planning. And you have several opportunities to go for our active planning, which gives you an idea about the renewable energy, energy efficient heat pumps. You can have a proper materials which have less embodied carbon and so on. So together, if each of these elements is seen properly, we have already reached to a net zero energy, net zero water, net zero waste technology, and the measuring system. Very soon, we are going to establish net zero carbon rating system. So that is how the overall thing works. Our aim is to collectively need to get a net zero emission as soon as possible and remove carbon from the atmosphere. The building industry is now tasked for doing more good by reducing net emission to zero and actively contributing for the carbon withdrawal. So these are the methods how you can balance and optimize and eliminate the CO2 emission and reach towards a net zero carbon. So responsibility is to incorporate this into your design properly right from its inception, buy local materials wherever possible, ensure structural material strengths and not generalize about optimizing the different uses, reduce waste through careful specifications and buying with the take back agreement, consider the longevity of the material that you use. If it needs to be replaced frequently, its impact will be greater. So this is a long chart. I would request all the users can refer this offline. So these are various aspects: urban planning, new building, existing building, building operations, appliances and systems, material, resilience, and clean energy. So what is the impact it has? It has been given here. And what is the mitigative strategy? It's been given here. So the priority integration of the rapidly expanding cities, prioritize the high efficiency standards, accelerate the action on building retrofits, facilitate maintenance and building management, teach them. I personally feel that it should be included in syllabus. We should also create a graduate. We should request this educationist to involve this as one of the specialized subject, because all that will be built has to be maintained and has to be properly facilitated. So we have a huge gap there. A lot needs to be done on the facility management front. Also, you see applications and systems. How do you stimulate the demand for energy efficient appliances? Material, of course, we talked about. Today's session is on material, resilience, and the clean energy. Bhutan, of course, is one of the best example where all of us, we know the only carbon negative country in the world. More than 70% of the country is covered with trees. This large amount of tree cover has seen Bhutan becoming carbon sink, meaning that it absorbs more carbon dioxide than it produces. Bhutan absorbs roughly 7 million tons of carbon dioxide annually and only produces around 2 million tons. Bhutan also exports most of the renewable hydroelectrical power that generates from its rivers. This counteracts the country's contribution towards the carbon emission by millions of tons each year. So this is how they have done it. They adopted this style since a long time, and that's how they achieved. By 2030, Bhutan plans to reach zero net greenhouse gas emissions and to produce zero waste. This means putting a comprehensive plan of action into a place with items such as increasing its resilience on renewable energy sources like wind, biogas, and solar power. Of course, the scale is in their favor. It's quite handleable scale, but if you adopt it properly, it can be also scaled into a multiple ways. So these are good case studies in our own country. The place which I always admire is Auroville. You can see from Auroville how a brilliant leaders, brilliant planners, brilliant environmental scientists and the lovers, they have done the Auroville as one of the great city of the future. A lot of good master planners have come up and they have set up this master plan. I would again advocate all the viewers to go on a YouTube and go on a social media. Their sessions are available, recorded session. It gives you a complete idea as to how this whole particular nucleus is being developed and how it is very well sustainable. You can see the road pattern, you can see the outer ring road, the crown road, how they're pedestrianizing, how they're taking away the fuel emission, minimizing the impact on the environment, and slowly and steadily moving towards completely self-sustainable, completely energy conservative, water efficient, and almost reaching towards net zero carbon emission kind of a scenario. If this can happen in Auroville, this particular model can be extrapolated even into a megapolis and metropolis. We have to be mindful as to how do we take these kind of a pilot good case studies and adopt them in our own projects. That's what we need to do. We already have a lot of good things around us, but I personally as an architect also feel responsible, but every stakeholder is responsible, and together we can of course achieve the best. So this is also something that is internationally happening. You can see all the Scandinavian countries, Norway, Finland, Denmark, Swedish countries, they're almost reaching there. Again, the scale is in their favor, but they have been taking this initiative since last 2 decades. And their missions for 2030 and 2050 will definitely set a very good benchmark for all of us to follow. So there is a lot that is around us, which we should feel motivated about, and we can adapt. It's time for us to go in that direction. So a great saying of Richard Rogers, I would say at conclusion of my session, the only way forward, if we are going to improve the quality of the environment, is to get everybody involved. So it's us, it begins with us, it ends with us. So I think we should be very mindful to take that active step, and we should definitely by 2050 achieve a net zero carbon in our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sandeep. Thanks for that very interesting and insightful presentation. You spoke about many things. I don't intend to summarize all of it, but certainly the importance of considering embodied carbon in the design process. You talked about net zero buildings, gave some wonderful examples of Bhutan as a country, what they have done. And also some of the things on high performance concrete and glass, and the myths that probably glass is not that positive. So there are things which people have in mind, but it's good to do a scientific assessment and a research-based analysis before you draw conclusions. Also, the use and the government's policies in encouraging use of eco-friendly products, and also where health and well-being is also an important aspect. So all these, and having a holistic approach, looking at life cycle assessment of, before we go ahead and do the implementation of the design and construction, and the role that architects have to play in orchestrating all of this. So all very useful, and thanks for that very interesting presentation. Our second speaker for the day is Ms. Lopamudra Sengupta. Ms. Sengupta, I'll give you a little bit of information about her. She has done a bachelor's in civil engineering from Jadavpur University in Kolkata. She has over 23 years of experience in the field, primarily in the area of cement and cementitious products. She's an active member of various reputed committees in India, including BIS, CMA. She has also been she has worked as a vice president operations in Lafarge, and also has been a vice president in customer service in Heidelberg and Ultratech and in Ambuja. So she has a vast experience in the industry. She's currently with JSW Cement, and she is responsible for supporting the technical services for this company. And she has been involved in developing several Indian standards. So thank you, Ms. Sengupta, for coming in today, and we look forward to your presentation, and hopefully we will have some new things to learn from what you have to say today. Over to you, Ms. Sengupta.
Thank you, sir. So myself and my colleague, Mr. Neelam Kumar Sawant, we will be going ahead and having a discussion and giving a presentation on the green products and sustainability with the slag-based products. So Neelam, if you can make it in big screen, please.
Yeah, ma'am. Can I have a share screen option? Organizer, please. Please give me share screen option.
No, share screen has been given to you. Just you put it in this mode. Full view, full screen mode.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So sustainability with JSW slag-based product. So when we are talking about building material, we are also talking about slag, cement, and Portland pozzolanic cement and Portland composite cement, which has newly come. Ordinary Portland cement, and also another product which is coming under the mineral admixture category, which is ground granulated blast furnace slag. So if you see in a building average, we are not talking about the skyscrapers and commercial building. Average, if somebody makes a building, of 1,000 square feet or 1,500 square feet, he makes a small bungalow or something like that, an individual home. So 15 to 17% goes towards, cost of cement of that house. So cement per se is very, very important because it is a binding material and it helps in making the structure strong and durable. Along with that, it is not only important to have a structure which is strong and durable, very, very important is to have a structure which stands the passage of time and which is sustainable, because today's our needs, our wants, we are satisfying them. But what about the future? What about the future generation? Are we leaving enough carbon dioxide? In the environment? Are we, damaging the ecosystem? Are we conserving the resources? Is calcium oxide as a cementitious material resource? Are we taking care of that? Are we using alternate fuel, or we are just, digging the earth and taking out ecosystems resources, and then we are spoiling everything, and we are exceeding the biocapacity of Earth. Recently, I was going through some material where it says if we continue to live like this, one Earth is not going to be enough for us. So if we, live like this, and supposing if we compare a person who is living in England, so he is going to need 1.5 Earth's resources. And if we think like American and we continue to live like American, we will need 3 Earth resources, which is, very, very alarming, because Earth is something which cannot be regenerated. But at the same time, development has to go on, looking into the enormous population our country has. So many people are there, and our country, it is mainly having the young population. So the population is going to grow more, because looking into the current trends, and they have to have housing accommodation and the roads which needs to be built up, and that's a need of the sustainable product. We can go to the next slide, Neelam. So green cement, our plants are located. So I'll just give a brief introduction of JSW. So we are into steel business. We are India's largest steel manufacturer, and we have made an entry into cement, and our products are well accepted. All parts of India, we are present in East, in South, and in West. And our products consist of Portland slag cement, Portland composite cement, ground granulated blast furnace slag, ordinary Portland slag. It is there, but it is very, very limited, and it is mainly given to infrastructural organizations. So we have ensured the slag which is generated out of our blast furnace, it is just not kept idle, and it is being utilized into various products of cement and concrete. So Portland slag cement, our the mother, the item with what we have, the mother product we have, we are having them GreenPro certified since 2016. So pioneer in cement to have this certified. Now many companies have followed our suit. Portland composite cement is also GreenPro certified, and ground granulated blast furnace slag, which is again nothing but slag which is ground final, like in the tune of 4,000 meters square per kg, and mixed separately with clinker or OPC cement. And ready-mix concrete manufacturers are using big time in construction site. So all of these products are IGBC GreenPro certified. Next. So along with that, we are also having environment product declaration, both for our product, Portland slag cement and GGBS. So calcium oxide content minimizing of that, because as we know, slag which is there, that has got a very good and very high lime content, almost in the range of 40 to 43%. So if we analyze clinker and if we analyze slag, we will see the clinker, the calcium oxide content in clinker and also in the slag are almost to the same tune. So it is a fantastic product which is lying there, and the dependency on the OPC cement, which is a very big fascination for the customers of South and West, especially. East is again that way very advanced. They believe in a lot of blended cement, and they were the leading slag cement manufacturers. So they, in South and West, they always say, no, we want dark cement, we want OPC cement, and they feel it is going to give them superior property. But of late, what we have seen through a lot of work, whatever we have done, lot of meets, lot of interactions, and with the various technical fraternity, awareness creation program, conferences, and participation, we have been able to raise the understanding of the customer with respect to the green product. Because they, if an individual home builder is, going to construct his home, he is not bothered. He will just give the contract to his contractor, or he knows a shopkeeper, or he will give the list to his person who is there in the site. He will go and place material, whether they are green, whether they are OPC. And the next day, the mason or the contractor comes and he see, okay, the slab has hardened. This is fantastic. I don't care if it is green. So, and it has to harden, and I need to get strength. I don't care about durability. Even when we are talking with many, government departments, like when we say Initially, now Portland slag cement is in Indian Road Congress Code, and it is also there, in GGBS has got a separate standard. So initially, the days when we used to tell them, sir, you need to use a slag-based product or fly ash-based product because of durability, they used to say, no, I don't care. My maintenance of my road is up to 3 years or 5 years. I need to ensure that my road performs up to 3 or 5 years. After that, who sees? So that was the kind of mentality previously, but now we see with this kind of campaigns happening, and awareness, has gone up, and more technical fraternity are opting for product which is green. Next. So companies eco-vision offering green products to our customer, the products that use less natural resources and energy and generate less CO2. So if you actually see, if Portland slag cement is used or Portland composite cement is used, there is a carbon dioxide reduction to the tune of 63%. So which is a fantastic thing, because we are reducing the carbon footprint by a lot of amount. Reducing the environmental impacts due to our operation by consistently improving the energy efficiency and product mix design. So it is not only important to give a product, we also educate our customer how to go about using these products so that they can design various grades of concrete, M40 grade of concrete, M60 grade of concrete, M80 grade of concrete for that. Next. So we have got various products which I have already told you. These are the products. Next. So the slag-based product which we are seeing here is OPC plus GGBS, which has been combined to make into PSC. I will request Neelam Kumar, you please take over from here. Neelam?
Yes, ma'am. This is Neelam Kumar Sawant from JSW. Good afternoon, all the participants and dignitaries. Thank you, ma'am. I will continue the presentation onwards. So as we know, JSW is having slag-based products. So for example, in front of you, we are having PSC, Portland Slag Cement. That is the cement is conforming with the IS code of 455. How it is made? So it is a simple thing. It is a mixture of GGBS, that is glass granulated blast furnace slag, and normal OPC. So as we are aware, GGBS is also one of the product which is conforming to the IS 16714. So PSC is manufactured as per mixture of GGBS as well as OPC. The second one is the second one is the product which is called as a PCC, that is Portland composite cement. It can be called as a composite cement, and this is the latest version of the cement in India. In 2016 onwards, we are manufacturing in India. So as we are aware, PSC is a mixture of GGBS and the OPC, both the cementitious material. But as far as PCC is concerned, it is a mixture of more than three mixtures, that is fly ash, then GGBS and the OPC. So by adding this, by blending this together in a proper proportion, so we will one can get the PCC. So this is the latest technological product, and this is a very good material available in India, pan India, and JSW is manufacturing. As far as sand is concerned, we are manufacturing slag sand also. That this is the manufactured sand, and it confirms the properties as per the IS 383. So these are the slag-based products currently available in India, which JSW is manufacturing. The next one, how this GGBS is got from the industry. As we are aware, this GGBS or the slag-based product, this is the byproduct of the steel industry. So we are having blast furnace slag. As we are aware, the iron ore and the coke and the limestone, all these are brought together in the blast furnace slag, and it is molten together. And after getting the proper molten iron on the top of this this material, the slag, all the molten slag is it is floated, and this slag is taken out from the bottom side of the blast furnace unit, and it is directly quenched with the help of cool air or the cooling water. And this is a non-metallic product. As we are aware, it consists some of the glass containing silicates as well as aluminates of lime. Lime is about 43 to 45% in this GGBS. So it is developed simultaneously with the iron in blast furnace slag, as we are aware, and it is obtained by the rapidly chilling or quenching with the water or the steam or the cool water. Then the next one, what we will see the chemical composition of the slag. How this composition is there. On the right hand side, we can see, one can see the microscopic examination of these GGBS particles. So generally it is a glassy in nature, and the chemical composition, as we are aware, about 40% the lime is available with the slag. Then silica or the glassy particle is about 27 to 32%. Alumina, then iron and magnesia is also there. The glass content is about 85% as per the core says, but as far as JSW's GGBS is concerned, we are getting this GGBS slag with more than 95% glass contents. So what happens exactly when this OPC plus GGBS or the final product, that is Portland slag cement, in hydration system, how it is the mechanism? As we are aware, whenever we are adding the water to OPC plus water, it gives some CHH gel, that is calcium silicate hydrate gel. And this contributes to the strength of the concrete or cementitious products. So as we are aware, calcium hydroxide is the weakest component, and whenever higher the content of the C3S or the calcium trisilicate is there, the more calcium hydroxide is generated, and it gives about 61% of CSH gel and 39% of CH. As far as C2S is concerned, that is calcium silicate is concerned, 82% of the calcium silicate hydrate gel is produced and about 18% of CH is produced. So as we are aware, C3S is higher, then definitely one can get the higher early strength in our concrete. And if this C3S is high, then higher heat of hydration will be there. So it may cause the problem of cracking in the concrete, early shrinkage cracks in the concrete. So whenever one can get the GGBS product, it is blended with the OPC to form the PSC, or directly PSC cement is there, and one can utilize this PSC product to manufacture the concrete. So we can utilize this calcium hydroxide in the secondary hydration point of view. So additional generation of CHH gel, that is calcium silicate hydrate gel, is formed, and it gives the furthermore strength on the latter aging of the concrete. So this blocks the capillary pores which are formed in the concrete matrix. Because of this blocking of these capillary pores, there is a tremendous reduction in the permeability. So one can get the impermeable concrete. This is helpful whenever we are constructing the infrastructure on the coastal side of the India, wherever the sea salt or water ingress is much more higher, carbonates and the sulfates are much more there. So definitely one can get the impermeable concrete by using this OPC plus GGBS blending, or one can get by using the PSC. So on the latter stage, whenever the secondary CSH gel is formed and the secondary hydration process is continued, then one can get the higher gain of strength of concrete from the age of 14 days, 28 days, 56 days, then up to 1 year, one can get the enhanced concrete strength. And
Mr.
because
Savar,
of this, yeah.
where you will need to conclude your what you're speaking in the next 2 minutes, because you're
Sure.
getting
Sure,
to
sure,
the
definitely.
first time. Okay.
Yeah.
Please.
So definitely we can reduce the pollution in the air, water and land by using this slag-based product and other products. The landfills we can reduce it, and we can definitely retain the virgin material of the earth. One can reduce the fossil fuels also to manufacture the cement. And as far as GHG is concerned, greenhouse gases are concerned, so there is a tremendous reduction while manufacturing the cement and cementitious product which are slag based. So while manufacturing the cement in our JSW, we are tremendously reducing the environmental impacts while coring also, means dust, noise, fly ash, rock. This we are reducing. Then definitely we are giving the 100% topsoil we are using for the horticulture and greenery. Then high speed diesel is concerned, we are tremendously reducing the or replacing this high speed diesel with the substitute fuels. Then we are definitely we are using the sprinklers to reduce the dust pollution, and we have already implemented a rainwater harvesting in this. There definitely there are the utilization of the raw materials about chemical gypsum, then the pet coke, then the replacement of the iron ore and ppf also. So by using this alternate material, and we are definitely reducing the limestone consumption to manufacture the concrete or manufacture the cement by 66%, and the coal, then the gypsum as well as the laterite. So we are preserving these natural sources for the future generations. As far as energy is concerned, we are efficient in energy point of view. We have tremendously reduced the specific energy, electrical energy, about 19.5% while manufacturing our green cement products. So as far as water is also concerned, we have reduced 73% tremendously. We are reduced the water consumption while process cooling manufacturing of the cement. Then CO2, as far as CO2 is concerned, we know if while manufacturing OPC, about 769 kilogram of carbon dioxide is generated per ton of cement, but while PSC, it is tremendously reduced about 50%. So one can definitely reduce the CO2 emissions while using and manufacturing the GGBS slag-based products. So this is definitely eco-friendly product, composite cement as well as PSC. And one can see while manufacturing concrete also, we can see if we go by 50% reduction in the OPC by GGBS, definitely about while manufacturing M30 grade of concrete, there
Savan,
is
you
yeah,
need to conclude.
yeah.
Others are waiting for.
So, yeah, as a conclusion, we can definitely green products are the eco-friendly products. One can get the good compressor as well as flexural strength. Heat of hydration is less. One can get the good chloride and impermeability, and the chloride migration is very less. Water impermeability, abrasion resistance, then the carbonation also very less, corrosion also very less. And these all the properties which in front of you one can get by using these slag-based products. So even in the case of the concrete, flux strength and the compressive strength one can get, and these are the results of NCCBM. For as far as heat of hydration is concerned, it is very less in case of PSC, and this is about RCMP test and chloride migration test. Definitely we are getting the good resistance. Okay, so these are the some of the final things we wanted to tell under the umbrella of JSW. So thank for host for giving the opportunity to JSW. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sawant and Ms. Sengupta. I will now invite, for want of time, we're not going to have any further update on this, but I just thought I'll invite Mr. Biswajit Ghosh, who's our next speaker for today. Mr. Biswajit Ghosh is a metallurgical engineer. He has more than 3 decades of experience in this industry, and he's currently working with Tata Steel. He's heading the technology development in the products and processes for long and flat products, and he's the chief of technology. He has also been awarded the Young Metallurgist of the Year by the Ministry of Steel in the year 2000. So we look forward to hearing Biswajit. Over to you, Biswajit. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon once again to everyone. I will share my screen.
Yes, we can see. Your screen is not yet visible.
Yeah. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Please go ahead. You can make it full screen.
I'll make it full screen just now.
Okay, please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, so it is on green steel for decarbonizing buildings. The presentation will cover these following things. I'll start with the life cycle of steel, and then on to importance of steel usage in construction. Thereafter, to challenges for steel sector decarbonization and what are the various initiatives which are being done in the steel industry as a whole. Then what Tata Steel is doing, and then ultimately a little bit about the GreenPro framework for steel construction bars or rebars.
So, Biswajit, I'm sorry to interrupt. You know that we are running a little short on time. So you may want to just compress some of your thoughts for the benefit of others as well. There's one more speaker to go after you.
Yeah, I'll try my best. So I'll start with the life cycle of steel. The diagram on the left side is showing the life cycle of steel. So steel is basically manufactured by extracting raw materials from nature. Iron occurs in nature in the form of oxides, which have to be reduced by using the prevalent and the popular reductant for reducing iron oxides is basically carbon, and that is where most of the generation of CO2 happens. So it is the steel production first of all, and after that the produced steel will get into various other modes of manufacturing where various other products will get manufactured, and then those products will get used. During use, there can be certain products which can be reused without too much of extra processing. And at the end of the life, the steel will get recycled. Major quantity of steel is actually recycled back into the steel production. So from this life cycle, you can see that there are two methods of steel production. One is from the raw materials, which is from the green arrow. The other is by the steel recycling. So globally, about 70% of the steel production is through the blast furnace BOF route, which is the green arrow part, which is the manufacturing from the virgin raw materials, whereas 22% is from this scrap-based recycling in the electric arc furnace route. But in India, this proportion is a little balanced in the sense that EAF route would be around 55% and BF-BOF route would be around 45%. The beauty of steel is that it is 100% recyclable, and any grade of steel or any quality of steel can be recycled any number of times into new steel without any loss of quality whatsoever. And it offers design freedom, extended life, resistance to fire and earthquake. There are other life cycle benefits, etc. Importance of steel in construction. So steel is primarily used as structural sections and as reinforcing bars. So these two taken together comprise about 70% of all the steel usage in construction, followed by steel products like sheets, which are used in roofing, which account for about 28 to 30%, leaving only a very minuscule fraction for use in other non-structural usage like fixtures and others. So structural sections and reinforcing bars are the main usage of steel in construction. Challenges for steel sector decarbonization. Steel is a hard to abate sector from the decarbonization viewpoint. This is because, as I explained, that the iron occurs in nature as iron oxides, and they have to be reduced to take out the iron from the oxide. And the main and the easy and the most prevalent and the popular method of reducing the steel, so getting the steel out of the oxide, is by using carbon. So as a result, there is quite a bit of carbon dioxide emissions which happen, and the steel sector ranks among the heavy industries in terms of 8% CO2 emission. It is very much highly dependent on carbon fuel, which is coal and coke as a reductant. There are technologies for deep decarbonization, but these technologies are at an early stage of maturity. They are now starting to become commercially viable. Most manufacturers of repute are actually looking at various variety of these technologies to adopt in the coming times. It's also a capital intensive industry, so the challenge is that a lot of capex is already sunk in. So what happens with all those capex? In those cases, the CO2 emissions need to be managed and mitigated, if not brought down to very low levels. So the challenges summary is technologies are still under development and uncertain economic viability. Infrastructure developments are required to facilitate technology. For example, if steel making has to go from coke-based routes to natural gas-based routes, obviously there is a need for a lot of pipelines carrying natural gas and etc. So that sort of infrastructure developments need to take place. Management of existing assets with substantial capex is a challenge. Regulations across geographies are different. There are carbon emission trading schemes, carbon tax, etc. As for example, European Union recently has imposed a carbon tax on steel imports into European Union. That means there will be a taxation based on the amount of GHG emitted from the source. And also willingness of customers to pay a little more for cleaner products, because with these newer technologies and with a lot of capex, more capex pumped in, there is always a chance of the cost of manufacturing going higher. What are the various decarbonization initiatives in the steel industry? There are two main initiatives here. One is by Responsible Steel. This is an Europe-based organization. It is the first global multi-stakeholder standard and certification program. It supports responsible sourcing and production of steel with lower carbon footprint. Certified companies, so certification can be on site basis, and certified companies can make claims based on their GHG emissions and on responsible sourcing. The other one is Energy Transition Commission. This is also based in Europe, and this aims to transform the world's most carbon-intensive industries, like steel, to achieve net zero emissions by 2050. Accordingly, they have identified various work streams to support this transition in the steel industry. Defining green steel products, the term green steel is not really very well defined. This is being used. This term is left wide open for interpretation. It sometimes means that steel which is produced or manufactured using breakthrough technology, or it is produced mainly from scrap recycling, or it is produced from reused and remanufactured steel, or sometimes it is also used to mean conventional steel, but with emissions offset program where the emissions are lower. There is no globally accepted standard definition for this, and World Steel Association also does not use this term called green steel due to its lack of clarity. They rather use the term low carbon steel. Having said that, while there is no real standard for green steel, there are various sustainability initiatives in the industry at product level. And it is very important for the steel industry to demonstrate or to explain those facts to the end consumers, so that they are aware and they can make some conscious and educated decisions on purchasing or selecting. Sustainability looks at all possible opportunities for improving the product's environmental impact. So some of the initiatives are like carrying out LCA, which is life cycle assessment studies to basically show or detail out the life cycle impact of steel products, including the possibilities of recycling and its benefits. Developing sustainable steel intensive structures for easy dismantling or easy reuse, which is shown in the picture on the right hand side. This is a picture of what we call heavy nest, or it's a ready to use steel structure of Tata Steel. So these are basically in modular form, and these can be easily taken out and reused without too much of extra processing. Also supporting green building programs through the supply of recycled products, development of eco-labels, etc. The opportunities are many, as it has been shown in earlier presentations also. Steel falls under the 11% of materials-related emissions in the building sector. So to achieve net zero carbon buildings, green steel literally should mean that steel product with zero carbon footprint, but that practically does not happen as of now, and we are a long way off from that ideal state. So what happens is there are environmental product declarations which are becoming a requirement in the building industry to ensure that transparency of the product, and companies have to start disclosing the environmental impact. GreenPro framework for rebar is a unique, one of its kind national initiative that recognizes rebars having a better sustainability performance. I'll cover it in a little more detail in the subsequent slides.
Mr. Ghosh, for want of time, maybe in the next 2 minutes, if you can conclude.
Yes, I will try to. I'm almost near the end of it. So
thank you.
So Tata Steel's challenge, what are the initiatives Tata Steel has been doing? The company's initiatives, first of all, Tata Steel is a member of Responsible Steel Certification Program. Tata Tiscon and Tata Pravesh steel doors and windows and Tata pipes and structurals and the slag cement are all GreenPro certified products. All the construction products are now GreenPro certified products. Also, we are hugely into development of environmental product declarations. On the process side, use of clean scrap, iron scrap, increased process efficiency, reduction in coke rate, develop better steel products for extreme conditions like seismic resistance, corrosion resistance, etc., so that the longevity of structures is enhanced and resource consumption can be mitigated. So those are the initiatives. Technologies are also being focused upon, and Tata Steel is actively examining various new technologies to take up in future. I'll not get into the details of this slide on the goals. You can see the 2025 goals and 2030 goals. Just three major items. CO2 reduction currently in the BOF route. Typically, the CO2 emission will be 2.5 tons per ton of crude steel. This we want to reduce to 2 tons or less than 2 tons by 2025. Fresh water consumption, which is currently around 3.2 meter cube per ton of crude steel, we want to reduce by less than 2 meter cube by 2025, and 100% sites under LCA coverage by 2025. These are all very tough and tall targets which we have taken up. Okay, so this part has been covered earlier, so I'll skip last two slides. GreenPro framework for steel rebars. 2 years back, there was no framework for GreenPro certification of steel rebars. As you know, that steel is a very important and major item in any building construction. So it could not happen that steel was not covered under any GreenPro or framework. So that framework had to be developed, and we had sort of collaborated with CII, GBC, and various other stakeholders to develop the framework in the last 2 years, and we have now been certified. This framework takes into account the product performance, which with a weightage of 30%, and process-related performance with a weightage of 70%, and the various weightages are as given in the parentheses. So last slide for the benefits, main benefits, it has been covered in earlier presentations also. The main benefit is for the users. Without spending too much of time and effort and racking their brains, they can easily understand by looking at the stamp that whether the processes and the product is sustainable, and the processes behind that product are environmentally more sustainable. So they don't have to get into details of complicated technical data. And it also, the product performance is also better in terms of longevity of the structures. It will be better, and other toxic and hazardous substances are certainly not used in the manufacture of these products. And so these are the main benefits. That's all that I had to say from my side. Thank you, and a little sorry for rushing through. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Biswajit, and sorry to have made you rush through the last part of your presentation. We have one more speaker today, Mr. Sailesh Ranjan, and we'll ask Mr. Sailesh Ranjan to put up his slide. I'll just quickly introduce Mr. Sailesh Ranjan. Sailesh has more than 15 years of experience in the glass industry, and he He has participated in various exhibitions and seminars. He has been a keynote speaker in many of these events. And he's also, he has expertise in promoting energy efficient architectural segments in different climatologic conditions in different types of buildings. So over to you, Sailesh, and you know that there is a time limitation, so I would urge you to do it as quickly as you can. Thank you, Sailesh. Over to you. You're on mute. Sailesh, you're on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I audible now? Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so what I was asking that, can I know how much time I have so that I can pace my presentation accordingly?
You can take about 7 to 10 minutes.
Okay, perfect. So I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, please go.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much, Mr. Anup, for this opportunity. So this is a great session, and actually the session flow is also the way a building is made. First you plan a building, then you use concrete and steel. At the end, you use glass. And what I am going to do in today's session, I am not going to go into the detail of the technicalities, but I would focus more on the approach, how the product has to be selected. Because as Mr. Sandeep Sikre rightly pointed out, that glass is, there are a lot of myths on the glass, that it is a kind of energy juggler. And there is a reason behind that. It is because there is not much thought which has been put earlier, that what kind of product to be used. And now, because we have these kind of tools like GreenPro, where people who are even not knowing about the technology can actually use the product just by looking at the certification, and they can get the assurance that, okay, the product is green and sustainable. So I'll mostly talk about the product, what kind of product which can be green product, green glass, which you can call, and how it has to be used, how it has to be selected. So if you'll see this one slide which I have put about our company, this one slide is actually talks about that sustainability and everything is in the DNA of AIS, because we are present in each and every part of the value chain, be it in automotive segment or architectural segment. So if we are present in every part of the value chain, it becomes our responsibility to provide the product which is sustainable, and which can be used in different typology as per the different requirement. Now the question which always comes in every place, that is glass indispensable? Nothing is indispensable, but yes, to a building it is indispensable because of various reasons, not but because of one reason. Aesthetic, obviously it is good. It is a sustainable material. Like when we talk about sustainability, it is long lasting, zero degradation. From the green product point of view, if you'll see, the lifespan is high. It is lighter to the building. The overall dead load of the building you are able to reduce. It is transparent, and it is already told in the earlier part of the presentation that it is multiple times recyclable and reusable. So any number of time you can recycle this product and you can reuse it. And during the manufacturing process of the product also, we use broken glass as the raw material, which reduces the use of the virgin raw material, and that makes the production of this product also sustainable. So yes, there are multiple reasons because of that you can consider glass as indispensable for the building material. There are different kind of products, so it is very important to understand what kind of product which is available and what you should use in a building. So if you are not able to select the right kind of product, there the actual problem starts. That if you have used a wrong product and then you expect that product to perform as per your expectation, it is not going to happen. So in the presentation, in the green glass part, Mr. Sandeep Sikre, when he was explaining about the glass, very rightly he mentioned about the high performance glasses, which you can see here in the coated glass range, which is hard coat and soft coated product. So these kind of glasses are are primarily helpful in reducing your overall energy efficiency, heat ingress in the building. How it is done, that we'll see in the later part of the presentation. What is high performance glazing? A high performance glazing doesn't mean that it has to be expensive. Basically, it has just two basic purpose. First is it should reduce the heat ingress in the building. Normally, I'm considering India as the tropical country, and basis that I am giving this. So it should reduce the heat ingress, and it should allow the optimum daylighting in the building. So if these two part glass is able to perform, these kind of products are called as high performance glass. And what it does, it gives you the overall energy saving of 10 to 15 years, and payback period, which used to be around 15 to 16 year early, now it is as low as 2 to 4 years. In addition to that, a high performance glass gives the occupant comfort, which is also a criteria in a green building rating about in the indoor environment quality. What are the different advantages of these high performance glasses? As I mentioned, it reduces your overall cooling load. So your AC load will reduce. Not only that, it may also reduce your capital investment on the tonnage requirement in the building for the AC. Because this glass is reducing the overall heat ingress, so you don't require that kind of capital investment in putting the cooling efficient cooling equipments. Now, when we talk about the approach, what I was talking about, so I'll not go into the detail because of the paucity of the time, but I'll tell you in brief about what glass basically does. Glass allows the light to transfer, the wavelength to pass from this visible light, and reduces all the infrared. So basically what it does, it spectrally select the wavelength and allows only the right wavelength to pass through. Again, I am not going into the detail. Most of you are already aware, but still there are these three specific terminology what you should understand. Light transmission, it should be optimum. It should not be high or low. It should be optimum. In Indian climatic condition, SHGC, which reduces the direct solar heat ingress, it should be as low as possible. And again, U value, it depends on the type of the building. It should be optimum, and it will purely depend on the type of the building where you are using. And that's where this spectrally selective glass has to be used. So normally what happens that if you are using a normal clear glass and if you think that it should serve my purpose, it will never, because if you'll see, this is not able to cut the infrared, which a high performance glass is able to do that. And that's why it is important for you to use the glass which is high performance. And these high performance glasses are GreenPro certified. At least from our company, we are ensuring that all the products what we are offering, it is GreenPro certified. And how you select the glass. So there are different selection criteria. So if you'll see the bottom table here, there is a table which talks about the different numbers, and you can find these numbers in the brochure of all the glass manufacturer, which is the light transmission, reflection, internal and external, solar factor or SHGC, and U value. So you should look at these number and compare these numbers with what your consultant or architect has suggested, and then only you should use the product rather than just going by the aesthetic. Aesthetic is one of too many important other selection criteria. There are other criteria like energy performance, lighting, safety, and other parameter like acoustic and fire, which you should consider. Now, how you will reduce the heat gain in the with the help of glass? You can apply the coating, make it high performance glass, reduce the conduction, convection, and radiation. Or you can go for double glazed unit glass, which can reduce your U value from 5.8 to 2.9. Then again, if you put some low-E coating, it can reduce further from 2.9 to 1.4, even 1.1. But it all depends on how much you actually want. You don't need to go for maybe 1.1 in India. It is not required. Maybe 1.7 to 2.8 should be more than sufficient for almost 80% of the building. So that's where the designing comes into the picture. So what are the right approach? So whenever you are selecting any product, so always remember that there are different criteria which you will have to select from acoustic, from wind load, rendering, lighting, energy performance, shade. So that's why we call it a 360-degree approach, what you should take, not just one unidirectional approach what you should take when you are selecting the product, because one product may give you one solution but may not be all. So that's why you have to look for the product which is giving all the solution, and that's where you will be able to get the sustainability without compromising on the safety, security, and other features. So there are different tools available which can help you in doing these kind of analysis, like day and light. You don't need to actually go into the building to see that. So there are computer aided program which can help you in doing all these analysis and select and give you the selection of the product. Now you can actually go for the rendering of the building also, that actually you want to see that how this building will look like before it is actually operational. So that visualization also you can see. Now I'll stop my presentation here, but before that, just
Alish, if you can just conclude in 2 minutes.
Concluded now. So it is. There are too many digital initiatives which are there. You can go through that, and you can refer all those things. But last statement before I conclude it is that you first give a thought before using any kind of product, so that it can become sustainable. Thank you so much, sir, for the time. So again, I am sorry for in case if I have rushed in my presentation.
Thanks. Actually, the apology has to be from my end. I think I need to have paced it a little differently. The first few speakers got a little more time, and we had to rush the the last two speakers. So my apologies for that. So what we will now do is we will just open it for a few questions. We have just about 5 minutes to conclude. So we will just quickly put forth one or two questions to the panelists. The CII team, in case there is something that comes up other than what is there, we can take it up as we go if time permits. So my first question is to architect Sandeep Shikre. Sandeep, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So Sandeep, I would have liked to have more time for question answers, but unfortunately, as always, these sessions end up being a time constraint towards the end. And actually, question answers is where really the insights really come from. So my question to you, honest answer, how many of our clients really engage with you and deliberate, not on the cost as much on the sustainability side? And I'm not talking about names here. You can tell us what percentage of the Indian clients and people who you've engaged with spend time on sustainability and talk through sustainability as a brief in the client brief.
Very brilliant question. Very brilliant question. Let me quickly give you a brief answer. See, a story was quite different a decade before. Everybody had a lot of wrong notions about sustainability and any particular kind of a project approach. They used to think it's very complex, it's very expensive, and they were not aware about the correct scientific knowledge about it. So due to that, non-knowledge was trying to keep them away. But I'm so glad collectively, all of us, which includes you and every one of us, have taken so much of our efforts. The results are visible now. You know, our Indian Green Building Council, the other similar kind of organizations have taken a lot of efforts, and the visibility is there now. So now it has gone to a consumer. So even if you talk to an average person who's not from the technical background, they know the benefit of it. So obviously that has kind of awakened our institutional as well as private development sector and other clients to look at this. And in last 5 years, there's a great awareness. Almost 8 out of 10 clients are very mindful, very serious, very committed, and they're also very excited and delighted. They understand their responsibility towards environmental impact. And fortunately, we have been able to convince them that it's not expensive. It doesn't require money. It requires an attitude. It requires an approach. Like none of these product manufacturers who spoke so well today, they are charging extra money. They are only giving you that extra benefit because they have worked hard to control the cost. One waterless urinal was costing 16,000 rupees at the initial time. Today, it costs more than 2,000 less. So the scale also has reduced the cost, etc. So in a nutshell, today it's a nice time. Almost 8 or 9 out of 10 clients are aware. And I'm very glad even the clients from tier 2 cities have been very conscious about these aspects, and they are aspired to also take their steps into it. So it's a great time now.
Yeah, that's good to know. And of course, we talked a lot about embodied carbon and importance. I think we took a lot of the focus earlier was on the operational aspects of how you can do energy conservation in the life cycle, and which is equally important. But as we are getting to understand more of the operational aspect, there is the importance of embodied carbon, which is very critical and probably very often said that's the blind spot, which the industry and the architects have not really been focusing on so far. And so maybe now it's time to focus a lot more on that. So we have three other panelists. Would you have a question for the panelists, which you think they need to be focusing more on, or is there something that you as an architect on behalf of other clients would like to seek from other product manufacturers?
Yeah, so of course, we keep meeting more often. There's a great synergy between us, and I must tell you the response time, the proactive approach by each one of them is excellent. And we are pampered. Many of the times feels guilty that we take the stage for our performance, but the real heroes are those who are taking much more efforts than us to create that kind of a technology. So one more just quick to add to your first question, there will be a more kind of a encouragement you'll see, because something that is called POE, post-occupation evaluation, it's catching up here. So it's not only you're talking on paper, these post-occupancy evaluations will clearly categorize the A category buildings, institutional healthcare or anything, and they will also get a special recognition, the premium rate in terms of their lease and their actual revenue generating opportunities. So I personally foresee that this will resonate because government is also recognizing sustainable buildings. They are giving them additional FAR, giving them more concession in rates. And now I have heard finance institutes will lower down the interest rate for these kind of initiatives. So there is an appreciation from all sectors. So it will resonate. And I say we are at that threshold where it's a good time for everybody who wants to promote the sustainability. Coming back to all the stalwarts who are here, of course, we are happy, but I would say catch the young minds. And we have a student chapter. So we need to go to these students of engineering colleges and architectural colleges and the postgraduate colleges and catch them young, spend some time, energy, and a very little, probably a budget to educate them, take them. Of course, they all are doing that. They are doing a lot of student excursion. I know Asahi Glass has at least 3 to 4 student competition. I know Tata Steel does that, but we need to resonate that particular aspect so that the future, which is in the hands of these millenniums, they learn this at their curricular level. That's only one advice I would like to give to them, and they should enhance that particular program. That's what I would say.
Good, thank you. And my last question is to Ms. Sengupta. Ms. Sengupta, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So my question to you would be on, the use of Portland slag cement, which you've talked about. As you said, there's a lot of resistance to using these for various reasons, maybe early strength gain, other parameters which customers are expecting. How much of a concept selling have you had to, adopt to try and change the mindset? How difficult has it been?
So that is a very nice and interesting question. So the first thing what we see in the markets of South and West, first they will want a dark colored cement. So they have a mindset ki the darker it is, the better. Secondly, they want to use a product which is giving very fast hardening. So they think ki it has hardened well, and so it is a superior product. But with the passage of time, we see all these structures which have withstood the passage of time. So if you see this transferable link which is being built, or we have got various Bhakranangal Dam, or we have got Takashi Kaiko Bridge of Japan. These structures, even Lodha World One has got slag, GGBS, when they made the ternary mix. The MBPT project which has come up in Bombay, then the Ennore port. These are very, examples are huge. I can only name 3 or 4 now here. So when we now approach the customer, we just don't only talk about strength, we also talk about the durability parameter. So rapid chloride penetration, water penetration test, sir, then rapid chloride migration test. So the awareness is getting created, number one in this one. Now the blame cannot be entirely given to one set of customer. This IS 456 came in 2000 and it just fully focused on strength, nothing on durability. So now also parallelly, the entire industry, cement industry, is trying to work on the durability factor. So the new revision which will come up will have all these categories of durability, where what is to be put, carbonation, how it is to be dealt with, how corrosion is to be dealt with, what are the various products it will be used there. So once the codal practices also come into play, they will be also, forced to, adapt to these practices. So to educating, secondly pursuing, and it has to be done in a very efficient manner through various meets and conferences and, face-to-face interaction, site demonstration. So we have got service vehicle, concrete laboratories where all our engineers are fully, dedicated to building up of this, confidence building exercise.
Yeah.
So through engineering, support services, we are building up this. The thought process is getting changed, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Sengupta. I would have liked to ask the other colleagues, Ms. Sujit as well, some questions, but for want of time, I think I know that you all are doing a lot of work on trying to reduce the embodied energy. It is not going to be easy. It's very intensive. Both cement and steel are very intensive in terms of energy, and certainly there's a lot of opportunity for us to improve the quality or the sustainability aspects of our products as we go forward. So thank you everyone for today's session, and it was indeed a pleasure. My thanks to also the CII team for helping us coordinate this event. So over to you, Dhanreshu.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for chairing this session. So I hope there are a lot of takeaways on decarbonization. So we have listened from architect Sandeep Shikre, so who spoke about how eco-labeled products can contribute to decarbonization in building. So it was a wonderful session, sir. Thank you for chairing the session.
Thank you. My pleasure.
I would like to conclude this session with thanking the sponsors who are supporting us in the journey of promoting green products in India. So we thank our platinum sponsors, Somani Plywood, GreenPly, JSW Cement, Tata Tiscon, who are all supporting this GreenPro initiatives. And also we would like to thank associate sponsors, Nippon Paint, USG Boral, Oogie brand is a brand of owned by Pure Chemicals. Thank you, sir. So due to short of time, we will be starting the session immediately. The session on sustainable product and technology for healthy building. It's a wonderful session which will be chaired by Mr. Sitaram from Unilever. So I request the participant to stay back and attend the session 4. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Pleasure. Thank you very much.
Last time.
Hello, Pratik. Hello, Pratik. Yes. So we will be starting our session on sustainable products and technologies for healthy buildings. This session will be chaired by Mr. N.P. Sitaram from Unilever. He's a director at Unilever. And we have 5 speakers with us. Mr. Anil Chopra from Camphil India, Dr. Reena Valecha from Godrej Interior, Dr. Prashant Pandey from Diversity, Ms. Rohana Sara from Ecowood Somani, and Mr. Mukesh Chandra from Brookfield Properties. At the outset, I would thank all our sponsors for supporting this event. And just a suggestion to all the attendees, so you can post your questions from the Q&A box situated on the right side beside the screen. So you can ask your questions. The questions will be directly shared with the panelists, and they will be addressing the question at the end of the session. And before starting, sir, Sitaram sir, thank you, sir, for joining us and chairing this session. It's wonderful to have you here. So I would request you to moderate the session and keep the presentations to 15 minutes maximum for the want of time. Now, without further ado, I would introduce Mr. Sitaram. Mr. Sitaram is a chemical engineer from NIT Warangal. He has been with Unilever for 27 years in various roles across R&D and supply chain function. Currently, he's leading R&D Home Care South Asia based out of Mumbai. Mr. Sitaram has an international experience of over 7 years in Southeast Asia and Australia, prior to this in a similar role. And thank you, sir, and welcome to our session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to the team for organizing, the CIA team for organizing this session. And this is an area which is very close to my heart as well in terms of sustainable product technologies for healthy buildings. And we do have an esteemed list of speakers who are going to talk us through the entire gamut of what it takes for healthy buildings. Yeah? So starting right from air filtration, going into cleaning chemicals, talking about the furniture that we use, the ergonomics that we have, electricity, all of that, and facilities management and all of that. So we do look forward to having a very good session, very informative session, and what are the trends that are going on in this particular areas. And this is a great opportunity for everyone to learn and benefit. And of course, as is the case with most of these sessions, there will be a lot of thought-provoking questions that would come. And I would encourage all of you to please keep noting down your questions, and depending upon how the session progresses, we will try and see how we can address all these questions. So without much ado, what I would like to do is to dive deep into the discussions into this whole topic. So maybe we can have the first speakers come online. Yeah, so the first speaker, sorry, I think, yeah, Mr. Anil Chopra, who is here as the head of quality from the Camphil India Private Limited. Again, this is an area where he has been like at the forefront. He has had a lot of experience in various consumer durable companies and comes with a lot of broad-based experience. He's also a member of various societies and panel member at BIS for air filters and so on. And in his current role as the head of quality function for air filters, he's also kind of leading this particular space, and he's one person who can bring a lot of insights into this particular area as far as sustainable products are concerned. So over to Mr. Anil Chopra. Welcome, sir, into this program, and would like to hear from you.
Yeah, hello. So good afternoon, everyone. Hope I'm audible. Yeah, okay. So first of all, it feels great and I'm very much privileged to, I was just hearing all the great leaders, how they are speaking on making things sustainable and making the future ready for our Mother Earth. And it's a unique platform, no doubt. It should have been physically, but the time says it has to be a virtual summit. And
the connection.
I'm a yeah, I'm audible.
Yes.
Okay. So without wasting time, just I would like to share my PPT. Please allow me to share. Hope the screen is visible to all.
The green button, share screen button in the bottom.
Share.
Perfect.
Yeah, is it okay?
Try doing it in full screen.
Yeah.
Yes, it's working.
Okay. So let's, the basic question which comes into mind is what is sustainability? So as the UN also, has defined the sustainability that meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So, as a CAMPHIL, we have been into sustainability since our inception, 1963. And it's like, it's sustainability should not be something we do. It should be who we are. So it connects, economic, environmental, and social, which, informally we can say the environment, economy, and the society, and making the product sustainable. Now, I know it has been experienced, where something comes, which is, when someone is happy. Okay, so you can say when a person is happy, he does a good work. Okay, so when this survey was taken out from, from different people, so the voting came as 58% people voted for the air quality. So the first thing which the people need is a clean air to breathe. Now coming on to CAMPHIL and United Nations goals, so there has been different goals, and linking CAMPHIL with these goals, we are very much aligned with some good health and well-being of our employees, then decent work and economic growth, sustainable and communities, and responsible for consumption and for the production. Now, sustainability is a part of our DNA. So as I mentioned in earlier slides, that since inception, CAMPHIL has been promoting the sustainability, and we are enabling and we are educating our customer about the importance of sustainability and energy saving. These, as very much rightly said by different leaders, that this awareness can only make an impact. So awareing the industry with with the right process and the right standard will definitely work. And no doubt it is going to take time, but if, as rightly said by Sandeep Shitkar said, that it has to be incorporated into the persons who are rightly studying in the college, so that that comes into their curriculum, and they that comes into their DNA. So we are now, as in the morning felicitation, that now CAMPHIL is also GreenPro Eco-Label certified company. So it has been a great pleasure and privilege that to offer, because to me it was not known, and thanks to CII IGBC and to Hemant, that this concept was there, so that where we went for this particular GreenPro, so that we come to know we need to have the right things on right place. Because if I talk about indoor air quality, so there are certain standards. Okay, because the platform has to be remain same, so that everyone can, the level player field can be there. So there are different standard of air filtration which talk about. These are EN 1822, which is a HEPA standard, ASHRAE 52.2, ISO 16890, which is a air filtration standard for general ventilation, and RAMCO specification for the GT filters, gas turbine filters. So now coming to some fact, because I have been into manufacturing, 15 plus years experience has been into manufacturing, and there are certain facts which always surprises me. So the fact which which it was known to me that a human normally eats 1 kg of food daily, and drinks 2 kg of fluids, but the surprising factor is 15 kg of air per day, and it's the most we don't care about it basically. So this is the fact which remains true as of now. And one more fact, which is I'm sitting indoor, and I travel 1 hour by my vehicle, that is also indoor, then reaches my home, so that is also indoor. So that is basically 90% of our life remains indoor. That affects our health. Now, the indoor environment can be 50 times more polluted than the outdoor air. This is the third fact. And the fourth fact remains that, we inhale 25 million particles with each breath. So certainly we should care for that. Now, before going to, I just need to tell you that something about the different particle sizes. If because I'm talking about ISO 16890, which say because you might have heard about EPM 1, EPM 2.5, EPM 10. These are the terminologies which are currently in the air filtration industry. So I just wanted to make you understand that how does a PM 10 particles look like. You can just imagine that it can be a blue whale, which is to be EPM 10 particle, and 2.5 can be as big as elephant, and EPM 1 particle just like a human. So these are the difference between, just to make you understand how does the EPM 1, EPM 2.5, and EPM 10 particles varies. So EPM 1 is smaller than 1/1000th of a millimeter. So that much small particles, which goes into our body and makes the impact. Now, how does the penetration works? So if we talk about PM10, which I showed you, it's a quite bigger particles, and by God's grace and by our natural disorder, you can say we cannot inhale that. It will come out from our mouth. Okay. So if I talk about 2.5, these are the fine particles which goes into our lower respiratory tracts and deposit there. If I talk about EPM1, it's a less than 1 micron size, and these are inhalable particles which goes into our alveoli, and less than 0.1 particles which are ultrafine, which that goes into our bloodstream. So these are the things which how does it impacts our body. So if I talk about air pollution, so air pollution is basically there are certain facts which are almost because we ignore, because it's a COVID time, and we say that it's quite the situation is really scary, but presently we are sitting into the headquarter of air pollution, and where you can say 7.3 million people die prematurely. And if I talk about air pollution, it's the 4th largest killer in India, and 15 of the top 20 polluting cities are in India. Okay, and I think 3-4 cities will be near to this place here, near to NCR. And these are, you can say, these airborne diseases are silent killers. Okay, these will not impact on in a short term. These are going to take you long. The moment some 4-5 years in that you will case, because strokes, neuro disorders, respiratory disorders, asthma. So these are things which comes into the into the run when the age passes. And there is a fact from Harvard University that 15% increase in the death rate due to COVID-19. Now, now coming on to the protecting the ventilation system. So now we are talking about the green building. So 20 to 100% of outdoor pollutants are transferred into building and have a large impact on indoor air quality. So air filtration system plays an important role to to stop those particles at the inlet level itself and provide a fresh air to the outlet. To maintain the function of the ventilation system for a good number of years, it must be effectively protected, and both at the intake and the exhaust sides. So I rightly said that impurities must be stopped at the intake and prevented from entering the system. An air filter system is a component, is a ventilation system which is necessary for the system to work properly, properly installed, and regularly replaced. There are certain good practices which are contributing to better indoor air quality, which is keeping the system clean, which means that the designed airflow is maintained, temperature and humidity are kept in the specification. These are 3 important factors when we are designing the AHUs and placing the filters into it. So a clean system operating with the defined airflow reduces the amount of indoor contaminant generated by the humans, building material and equipments. So we need to maintain the efficiency of the equipment, allowing fans, heating, cooling equipment to work efficiently. Maintaining low pressure so that the fan can have the energy can be reduced and it can be used further. Preventing decrease of efficiency of fans due to dust accumulating in the impeller and casing. And one more thing, now there is a thing called pro safe. That is, we need to make the process as a safe process. So generating of microorganisms. So this always is a dangerous to any system. So now there are options, where we can put filtration systems which prevent this microorganism. Now, life of a filter. So it's basically raw material and all the transportation, because if I talk about a filter, there are three parts which makes it. These are the frame, the media, and the adhesive. These three components makes a filter. And when it goes into the manufacturing, we are ISO 9005 certified company. We have our quality management system in place, and it has been a good years of experience into manufacturing. So I know how every process goes from incoming to process, getting the equipment calibrated, then checking the first piece when the filter is getting manufactured, okay, using the calibrated instruments for the inspection, and then doing the pre-dispatch inspections when the filter is getting dispatched to the customer, okay, the delivery, then the use. And one thing which was missing into this life cycle was end life of a filter. So normally there's because when we are talking about sustainability, so you cannot throw the filter away right away, or you cannot do a normal scrap. So because we need to care about the environment also, we cannot throw anything openly into the environment. So we have there are agencies which are disposing of these used filter properly. Okay, these are available, and we are in agreement with those agencies. So every filter which Camphil makes, it completes the life cycle from raw material to end of life. We make sure that it doesn't remain, or it doesn't stop at the customer after getting the use. So those are the things which complete the life cycle of the filter. Now coming on to the standard, I'm very much attached with standards, because I always find I always look for reference values. What should be the reference values, or what should be the target values, where I can keep my process near to it. So those are the things. And if I talk about the theme of World Standard Day last year, it was protecting the planet with standards. So standards plays very major role. If you can see you come by comparing certain defined products properties, okay, or equal measuring of different products, or stimulate or measure performance behavior. These are basically keeping any manufacturer at one platform, so that there is a common standard which checks these levels.
Mr. Chopra,
so now coming on
minutes, you have a couple of minutes to wrap up, if you can kind of.
Okay. So I will just because in air filtration there has been a lack of awareness, and Camphil is playing a major role in educating the customers. So there has been a shift of European standards, ASHRAE standards, and now ISO standard. So EN 779 is basically now obsolete, and the standard ISO 16890 is already live. So in market, ASHRAE and ISO standards are rightly working. And solution products basically are you can just see the panel filters, bag filters, compact filters, which can be used as per the desired requirements. Then this is basically a standalone unit, where we it's a CTM of Camphil, where we have which can sense which can absorb the VOCs and particulate matter. And if this is a running condition of a CTM, where you will find in just I think 12 minutes the room has reached the ISO class 8 clean room. So that's the beauty of this product, where we can place this into a with low energy consumption, quite efficient fan. So these are basically the products which can play a major role into hotels, clubs, and restaurants, industries application, airports, residents, corporates, gymnasium, wellness centers, educational institute. Okay, so they doesn't cost more, and these can be placed anywhere. This can be wall mounted also, and this can also be a standalone. So it plays a greater lower risk assessment, healthier occupant, less cleaning required, very low level noise, certified filters with the standards. These are some of the case studies, where the some before after pics have been shown, where we have made sure that the requirement of the customer has to be met. And this also you can see the reading of before installing these filters, the AQI was 188, and now the indoor has come to single digit. Then this is a chapter into the air filtration industry, where we talk about washable and disposal filter. So as many leaders have talked about, that we need to protect water also. So when we talk about washing a filter with water, so I have heard that this normally they wash to 10 to 15 times. So that becomes a very much the filter is disturbed and the purpose of the filter is not met. So it's better, it's always recommended that any filter should not be washed. Now coming on to the business areas, filtration, we are into HVAC, air pollution control, we are into GT systems, power systems, molecular contamination controls, which air filtration for harmful gases and odors. Then about Camphil, we have 55+ years experience company. Globally, we have 4,800 employees, 30 manufacturing sites, 6 R&D centers, and we are located at 31 countries. And we are based at Stockholm, Sweden. So if I talk about India, we have 3 manufacturing sites, 2 in north and 1 in south. Our head office is in Gurgaon. Okay, we are present since 39 years in India. We are a PS panel member, and thanks to CII IGBC that we made our product certified as EcoPro, and we are also a collegiate member at HEMS, so that we can work with them on to sustaining the things, and disposing of the hazardous product in a rightly manner.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will take just 2 minutes. So the capabilities, if I talk, we have analytical facilities where we can have the checks at the indoor levels, or we can place certain corrosion coupons which can let what is the level of air at that particular area. Then manufacturing sites at Gurgaon, 2 sites we have. Then testing facilities where we can have the GT filters testing, HEPA filters testing, and the general air filtration testing. We do work with project management also, a complete project also. Then this is the thing which a customer always will require, because when you say I need a filter, so basically it's what is your requirement of air. So it's a complete package solution where we just go, you just need to say that I need a EPM 80% for my office. So that will be done through all the filtration system. We will take care of all the supplies, inventory, dedicated support, inspections, reports, and safe disposal. So this is the air care from Camphil, where just you need to communicate that what is the requirement of air. And vision, no doubt, it's making clean air a human right, just like clean water. It was created in 1963 when the company was formed. Our mission definitely covers everything, protecting people, process, and the environment. We cannot, environment, we need to take care. And that's it. And I would like to share one thing, just one personal experience of mine. I normally come from a place, which is it takes 1 hour from NCR region, and there are 2 companies which come in between, which throws some good smell, and one throws some bad smell. So it is not like good smell is good for me, so I can inhale that. And the moment I cross some kilometers and I feel a bad air, and that time it's into my mind that that's bad air, I cannot inhale that. So good and bad, both air has to be properly exhausted to the environment, so that as rightly said by one of the leaders, that we have only one planet to live, and so we cannot just make it a bad environment. So we need to take care of our mother earth, and that's can only be possible with sustainability. So thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Anil Chopra. That was really an informative session on air filters, and we learned a lot from your presentation in terms of how Camphil is able to kind of meet every need, across the wide spectrum of industries and applications, and also how harmful the air can be, and how it can also be turned into an opportunity by improving employee satisfaction, etc. So I think it's really an informative session. We have some questions which have come for you, which I will take if we have time at the end of the session. Thank you very much. And we shall then move on to the next speaker, Dr. Reena Becha. And again, I don't want to take too much of time, and we just have to manage time because we will probably have to do 13, 14 minutes per speaker. But this is a very important topic on ergonomics, and Dr. Reena Valecha is the occupational therapist who specialized in ergonomics, and she is currently with the Godrej Interior as a principal ergonomic consultant. She advises in the design of work for productivity and user well-being. And today, in these days, when lots and lots of people are going to be working agile, going to office, they may not have permanent seating spaces, they might have agile seating spaces. This area of ergonomics becomes extremely, extremely important. She has a decade of work experience, and she has worked with a lot of various private and government organizations to understand the user requirements and how do we really meet those needs. So again, without much ado, I would like to really hand it over to Dr. Reena to take us through the this topic of ergonomics and make this whole topic really come alive in her presentation. Thank you so much. Welcome, Dr. Reena.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind introduction. I'll just share the screen.
Yes, it's visible. Yes.
Visible? Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, CII GreenPro, for inviting me for this talk today. And I'm really glad to share some insights related to ergonomics and also, some some experiences in which I personally feel that in today's phase, this subject has become more important, and how we can try and include and merge and take an holistic approach, because no single thing or no single subject can work individually. But when this subject of ergonomics, which is mostly focusing on preventive aspect, is merged very nicely in terms of safety, design, workplace, occupational health, it helps enhance employee well-being and overall comfort. So I'll just take an opportunity to introduce my organization. I'm a part of Workplace and Ergonomic Research Cell of Godrej Interior, and it's been a decade where we are, educating employees in the area of workplace wellness, and through a lot of research and advisory experience. This platform gives us an opportunity to understand user challenges, and also based on the insights, share certain findings with the decision makers, product designers, architects, so that we can provide appropriate solutions, be it in product, be it in space designing, or from an occupational health point of view. So by profession, yes, I'm an occupational therapist. So my major focus is mostly in terms of understanding ergonomic risks and occupational health, primarily through research. So in different aspects where we understand the workspace area, healthcare area, education segment, and try and understand how the users or how the workspaces are being evolving, how users are evolving with the same, what are the challenges they are facing, and based on that, certain insights are being formulated. So when before the COVID started, now since one and a half year, we all are working from home. But before that, when offices were on, when the work from office was only the majorly being the focus, at that time occupational health challenge, and it's still the same, the primarily was related to infrastructure related, the employee challenges, and majority of the employees had complaints related to pain and discomfort related to neck, back, and joint related problems. Majorly there were a lot of areas, but the major insights which came across is lot of people are not aware about the concepts of basic of ergonomics, like your posture, how to integrate your posture with the existing workspace, how to interact with the work tool. And because of that lack of awareness, the postures were wrong. Even the best of the workspace was being given, best of the design was being provided in the workspace, but because of lack of awareness, like 65% of the challenges which were being experienced at the workspace were majorly because of employee behavior, and it was due to lack of awareness. So that was one of the finding which came across, that yes, this subject plays a major role. And that is one of the reason why in office setting, things, people are experiencing employee problems related to musculoskeletal discomfort. There are a lot of complaints which are there in terms of physical health problems. No doubt there are physical problems, but there are associated mental health challenges as well, which the user has been experiencing. The comfort is affected while working in an office space. But now if we understand, we no longer work only from the office space. No doubt gradually we are getting back to that normal thing, but the most important element which has come into the picture is working from home or working from the third space, and work from this is the new normal. And when this is the new normal, it's very important to understand what are the challenges today users are experiencing, majorly from a space point of view, secondly from an ergonomic point of view as well. So for this, we did a study in the year of 2020. So we completed this study in July, where majority of the users participated, mostly from an Indian, to understand the challenges mostly from an Indian setting point of view. When the findings, there were a lot of insights which came across, but the major insights which were there, like more than 35% of employees in India were experiencing work from home for the very first time. Now, even as an employee of Godrej, if you ask me, even for me, it was a very new experience. As per my work profile, it is like more than 2 weeks in a month I travel. So for me, work from home experience was all of a new. Being an ergonomist, even I personally was facing a lot of occupational health challenges, ergonomic challenges. At that time, it came to more awareness. No, this is where we need to understand and collate certain insights or certain challenges which an employee is facing from while working remotely. Because also, even that during that phase until today, employees they seek that flexibility, that they want return to office. There needs to be a balance between home and almost 90% employees said that they do not want to work only from home or only from office. They want a mix. And till today, I feel many of us believe the same. But considering safety first, majority of the guidelines or policies are being worked upon. But from an but user concern, when a person like today, or maybe if we are aware, but many employees who are not aware, the minute we start working from home, we are in a very different kind of environment. We are first of all, the office environment, which is formal, at home it becomes completely informal. There are from an infrastructure point of view, there is no proper formal work desk kind of setup. Like we tend to work sometimes on a floor, bed, sofa, or a bean bag. Not everyone has a proper table chair kind of arrangement like we have in office setup. Even the kind of acoustics, even the kind of illumination, everything is very different. And in postures, one is majorly related to postures. And when you sit in different postures to be a period of time, it definitely leads to discomfort. Like basis a study, we found that more than 33%, almost 33% of people do not have a proper work desk arrangement. And all of this is resulting into pain. Now, the other insights were like sitting on a bed or on a beanbag or on a floor. When you sit, you tend to go in slouch posture. And when you adopt this posture, minimum on an average for even for 2 hours or maybe 1 hour at a stretch. And if it is that primary work desk for you, so every day repetitively, it causes that fatigue, discomfort, and gradually it leads to pain. So it's very, very important area to consider that this is the major concern. Secondly, considering even the lifestyle, considering the work from home comfort, or maybe the behavior or the safety part, the physical activity of users was another major area which is impacted. So this is one of the contributing factor which is leading to occupational health challenges and also ergonomic injuries. It is adding up to the stress. So it becomes all the more important for decision makers, for space designers, or anyone who is designing a policy to consider these trends when you bring them back to the office space, or if you are giving them that opportunity to work from that hybrid remote space, we need to consider these factors so that the occupational health has been taken into consideration. And also to understand that no matter what, we are putting in a lot of hours at work. I don't know how many of you will agree to it, but while as compared to office space, working from home has increased at least my work hours. And even during my interactions with employees, participants, even randomly when I check with them, the first response they tell is, yes, we are working 2 to 3 hours more as compared to office. In office, we were sure that, we have a lunch break, even during meetings, we go and speak to the people, there is movement, there is activity, there is break. But while working from home, mental fatigue, so I would club it as more of virtual fatigue. So this is a primary, trend which we need to consider. So these are major trends of a remote employee, which is playing a major role in affecting the employee well-being from a space point of view, and also from a wellness point of view. These things are very important to consider. Employee, whether they are working from office or whether they are working from home, there are few things which are common apart from the things which I said. One is static posture is the design of our job, because considering the computer work, it is a static job in nature. So the space design or the user behavior needs to have a major influence. Like gradually we have been seeing, not gradually, but it's most of the organizations today do have that sit stand kind of workstations, different kind of seating where movement is being emphasized, where the user is being given opportunity to sit and work in different space. But how do I use that space which has been given to me in a ergonomic way? It's waste. So we need to be very careful that how do we create that space first, and second is how do we educate our people, how do we educate our employees to use that space effectively. Second is excessive use of the eating. This is mostly related to behavior. So as I said, what is more important at this point of time is post-COVID, no doubt, our major emphasis in many organizations, depending upon the government guidelines, is on related to, so that the transmission of this virus is less, you maintain that social distancing. But apart from that, user comfort is very, and to address this 3 steps, we strongly believe can promote important ergonomic and human sense to be a important part of your assessment step, where you understand what are the hazards associated in the space, whether it is office, whether it is at home. It's very important. Understand what are the hazards. Second is what are the postures. So hazard identification is in different manner. Like in my previous session, Mr. Ashok rightly emphasized on importance of indoor air quality. But and yes, that is a very important role in your ergonomic aspects. But ergonomics, as I said, it's a holistic thing. What is the work posture? What is the thermal environment? So just 5 minutes more.
Yeah, sure.
And what is the workspace interaction? So these things are very important from an assessment point of view. So we do this in the form of different interactions. One is we try and understand what are the user challenges, user interviews. So these things we are doing remotely as well. It's not important that you go on site, so we can help you out through remote assessment as well. And the second step to do this is correction of that hazards. Just many a times I do get requests, you address my employees to you train them for ergonomic aspects. It's a good thing. We need to train. But are you aware of what is your ergonomic quotient of your organization, basis which you design a customized program where where do I need to train my employees from a behavior point of view? So accordingly, you train them in posture, workstation arrangement, height adjustment, how to just basic to the findings which you have got in your ergonomic assessment. So either you do it online, offline. This is where the management and the decision makers play a major role in deciding certain things. So accordingly, different solutions are being devised. And most importantly is reinforcement of that behavior. Just because ergonomics is behavior related, no matter like in the initial phase, you do design changes, you do a lot of improvement in the space, but if the user behavior is not taken care of, everything goes waste. So behavior can be taken care of, constant reinforcement of whatever changes you have been doing. So we have taken an approach of weekly reinforcement from an ergonomics point of view. So we educate people in the area of, so this initiative I've been doing since 10 years today. Me and my, as an organization, reached to more than 10 lakh plus employees with a simple communication that, okay, what is right and how do you need to stop this? So before I leave you open for this question and answers, I would like you to go through this simple video as a tip for you to practice. It is just 1 minute video on virtual fatigue. Is the video visible, Hemant?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Yes, let me know if there are any questions.
Yeah, we'll do that at the end of the session, Dr. Reena. So now, thank you so much for your presentation. It was really informative. And I think lots of tips for people who are doing, most of them doing hybrid ways of working, and also the importance of how the posture and other stuff comes into play. Really, really helpful. And so therefore, there are a few questions that already come for you. So we will share it with you at the end of the session. Yeah, thank you so much. Without much ado, what I will do is I'll move to the next participant. So the next speaker who will be talking. So can I have the charts? Yeah. Yeah. We have Dr. Prashant Pandey. So he is so he is a PhD in chemistry, and again he is from the Diversity Global R&D Center. And again, as we know that Diversity is one of the leaders in the in this whole space, of the buildings and how do we maintain them with all the cleaning chemicals and so on. So he's having a lot of experience as a research and development leader, and he's actually having a lot of international publications under his belt, a lot of patents in the areas of cleaning, hygiene, mineral processing. So again, sir, Dr. Pandey, I think it will be really a pleasure to have you here, talk to us, and share your insights and shed light on the green chemistry, etc., as we go forward into this new era in terms of sustainable buildings. So I would welcome Dr. Prashant Pandey to share his presentation and enlighten us with his talk.
Thank you, Dr. Sitaraman, for the nice introduction. Let me share my screen. I straightway, without taking much of the time, I'll go into the presentation mode.
Visible.
Yeah. I hope everybody can see the screen.
Yes.
Okay, I'll just make it up. Yeah. So thank you, Dr. Sitaraman and CII team, GreenPro team for organizing this session and for the invitation. I think in today's world, this is a very apt topic to talk about. We are already seeing the impact of greenhouse and the weather changes, and I'm sure sustainable product and technologies are going to play a huge role going forward. Yeah. So I am Dr. Prashant Pandey and leading R&D as well as the regulatory function in Diversity. And we all know, being a global company in cleaning and hygiene space for B2B business, regulatory wise, we are one of the most stringent firm to comply with any local laws, as well as sustainability is at core of whatever we do. So very quickly, the agenda for these presentations is, of course, defining sustainability, which I know all our previous speakers has talked about. And then I'll spend some time on talking about why sustainability. And most of the time in the sessions, I'll go through some of the examples of products and solutions, how together we can make a difference by bringing these technologies into cleaning and hygiene space. So, as we all know, the famous three pillar of sustainability, triple bottom line, people, planet, and profit. And all our sustainability programs hover around these three P's. Yeah, and sustainable development for us means balancing these interests for a long term. So in a business world, whatever we do for people and for the planet, definitely it has to make sense or has to have economics around it, and all put together is sustainable. And that's our flagship program called as Facilitator for Life for Sustainability. And the key message here is protect and care for people and the environment for sustainable success. So when we talk of facilitator for life, all the three elements that we touch on is by improving the environment through either reducing waste, conserving energy, or saving water, through various cleaning and hygiene solutions, by ensuring the total cost of ownership goes down and we play at the optimum rate, you know. And while we deliver both the environmental protection as well as people economics, at the same time ensure that we protect and care for the people. There are various programs we run across through either CSR schemes or with our customers that are really, really important in today's time of pandemic. You know, so the various programs like Soap for Hope, Linens for Life, all bring direct benefits to our people. I'll spend some time while I go through the presentation and talk more about those programs as well. And all the sustainable solutions that we bring, of course, are customer-centric solutions, as I said, that drives our customer improve their performance, efficiencies, as well as bring their total cost of operations as low as possible. So when we define sustainability, we all know that, okay, meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs is a well-known definition, and which is really, really apt. So basically we have a twofold approach via our flagship program of Facilitator for Life. We talk about all the three aspects of P for our customers to help them meet their sustainability goals and deliver cost saving, help our people by eliminating workplace injury. And I really like the Dr. Ina's presentation about ergonomics, which we continue or continuously implement at our workplaces, ensuring ethical business practice as well as which are equally part of our culture. And then, of course, ensuring that all the resources that we use are being used at its highest possible efficiency, reduce carbon footprints, and by improving the life in community, the area which we operate. Now, a quick glance through a rich history of excellence in sustainability. We being 95 plus years of company and protecting our environment, as we can see since 1935 till today, there has been a strong drive or push towards sustainability on year basis, and has been recognized as one of the top performer in this space. And what are the key drivers for the change? So the reason for sustainability is very clearly the three important factors or the drivers: the climate change, which is clearly leading to a global warming, the growing population, and water scarcity. In the region or in the countries that we live, we all are facing all the three challenges at the same time in today's world. So, and therefore, if you look at diversity programs for Facilitator for Life, I mean, it's a very clear plan for continuous improvements, and it hover around 12 goals. And all the 12 goals are equally distributed in all the three pillars of sustainability, be it for the planet, by reducing the energy intensity and our operations by 10%, also reduce the waste, as well as reduce water consumption. And then when we talk of people, again, there are 4 goals, and key topics that I'm going to talk about today are the innovative solutions that we bring for our customers to help them achieve their sustainability goals while we continue to maintain our sustainability targets. Yeah, so how do we deliver our customers or enable our customers to achieve their sustainability goals? Is by partnering with them to design the solutions, either to help them reduce water consumption, reduce their energy consumptions, provide them safer chemicals which are easy to handle, that can help extend their shelf life of their products. At the same time, reduce waste generation, reduce effluent, and improve employee safety. Yeah, and I'll talk about various programs or various innovative solutions in all these areas. What are these products and solutions that directly contribute to the healthy livings? And then just to mention, before I get into the various products and solutions, Mumbai is also the Global Chemistry R&D Development Center for Diversity. Apart from the 6 other laboratories that we have, the Center of Excellence lies here in India. And there is, we have one own factory operated in towards north. And there are many other third parties where we manufacture our products under strict GMP guidelines, as well as the environmental norms. So the first thing when we talk of innovate sustainable solution is like restricting the use of banned ingredients or the raw materials which must clear, or there are the raw materials that we use in our products must adhere to the sustainability criteria. There are like various 35 classes of chemicals in our system which are banned. There are phased out list, and we continue to do a kind of risk management for various chemistries. And our regulatory team keep a watch of almost 43 classes of chemicals, which we monitor across the globe wherever there are regulatory changes or certain criteria that needs to keep them phased out, or if there are certain change in the global norms are under watch list category, and keeping those requirements in mind, our innovation pipeline is being designed. So this, by doing this, we continue to improve our safety and environmental profile of the product. And one of the great example is like in the cleaning and hygiene solution, I would say the cleaning formulations, there are two parts, or rather three parts to any cleaning formulations. One is, of course, the media, which is the aqueous or the water part. And then we have one of the performance chemicals, and then the aesthetics. Under aesthetics, which is more of look and feel, and then fragrances play a very important role in those aesthetic parts. And fragrances, we all know, is like are made of a complex mixtures, comprises of various solvents, and therefore one of the key drivers in our product development line is to have fragrances which are more environmental friendly, free of banned ingredients, and are fully safe to use for all application categories. And by doing this, very clearly, we have reduced almost like 67% of fragrance inventory over a period of time, bringing saving of around more than $1 million. And then I go into the performance chemical category. And then now we all know the entire market is flooded with various kinds of disinfectants, germ kill products in this. And in this space, one of the key innovations that we have brought onto the table is like accelerated hydrogen peroxide chemistry. And we all know disinfectants or disinfection solutions are not only to maintain the deliver hygiene, or I would say kill germs. At the same time, it has to be environmental friendly. We all know very common chemicals in this space are either could be QACs or chlorinated based, which are either takes longer time to kill germs, but then accelerated hydrogen peroxide chemistry, it first of all, the benefit from sustainability point of view is it breaks down completely into safer chemicals. At the same time, it acts on the disinfectants in a fastest possible time, you know. And then we have various bio-based products in the category, which are 100% biodegradable, that deliver highest possible or highest level of professional cleaning results. And then this has reduced almost 16% of carbon footprints. Then there are various products or dosing and dispensing platforms that are like reduce 75% of chemical consumptions. The accurate dosing, what happens is like general practice is, okay, it's a general cleaning, it's just a cleaning product, and people tend to use it to a large extent without maintaining the right concentration. But by bringing a right dosing and dispensing platform, we also ensure our customers are benefited and their cost doesn't go high. Now, one of the interesting solutions which I wanted to talk about is like in food and beverage industry, especially in brewing, the bottles are like one of the criteria where like it's a lot of waste is generated. So there are products from our in our bouquet. Is one of the product called as Divo Mask, which when it is used on the bottles, the overall life cycle of bottle is enhanced by more than 50%. You know, and this happens by reducing the scuff marks. Normally what happens, those scuff marks tends to or leads to wastage of the bottles. And by using this product, the scuff marks are reduced drastically, and therefore we can use the bottles for more or a longer period of time, thereby increasing the shelf life of the product. Some of the products to mention or technologies that are very powerful in food service environment is like dye solutions, concentrated chemicals. By using this, we deliver a very strong, what you can say, quick performance. At the same time, the shelf life of the chemical is like once the solution is made, it can be used for almost a month. You don't really need to discharge or throw that chemicals after every use, and therefore the overall effluent discharge is reduced drastically. Yeah, and this is another flagship product or a kind of technology, I would say, in dishwashing category, where once I have a product, it goes in the dishwashing, can be used for long number of or a large number of washes, almost like 30 cycles, and thereby reducing overall space to hold a chemical. Then it is a kind of technology which is like you don't have to use chemistry at a rinsing stage. Only a simple water wash is good enough to deliver the highest, or I would say, streak-free rinse. This is a solution which is completely phosphate-free, chlorine-free, as well as NTA, these are all carcinogenic chemicals, and which are like conventional chemistry to control water hardness, but without even having those conventional chemicals. These are the kind of products and technology which delivers very good performance. Smart dose, another packaging solutions where it can hold super concentrated products and thereby deliver and also deliver accurate dosing. And by having these kind of solutions, straightway we can see the benefits from sustainability point of view is like reduction in shipping footprint, carbon footprint, as well as the packaging solutions. These are all fully recyclable packaging solutions, as well as it doesn't allow any kind of wastage of chemistries. And therefore, through various packaging solutions that we bring, these are the different benefits which continuously we provide to our customers through different packaging solutions. As you can see on the picture here is like either by bringing concentrated powder systems or super concentrated liquid systems. And then in cleaning and hygiene space, it's not always like only chemistry, but rather diversity also play a very significant role in bringing sustainable technology via machines. So we clearly felt that this is like Tasky is orange in color, and that's why we say sustainability always doesn't mean green, because at Tasky it's orange. These are the various benefits which our Tasky range of products bring to our customers, be it a sustainable product design, be it through optimum manufacturing process, the sustainable supply chain, and having a best performance, or I would say optimal performance. When I say optimal performance, maybe in the next slides we'll show how these optimal performance bring sustainability. So some of the flagship products like Task with Swingo, it delivers almost like 76% of water saving compared to our other units. And then we have products like if you try to measure the sustainability profile of these machines, it's like endless in every space, be it less chemical consumption, be it water reductions, be it productivity improvement. Everywhere these machines play a very significant role for our customers. And one of the key solutions, or I would say technology here, is these machines can also help deliver cleaning without chemical. We call it as a chemical-less cleaning solutions. And then going back to, so this is all about technologies. And then we talk of.
Sorry for interruption. I think you might have to close out your presentation. You have 2 more presentations to go. So
yes, 1 minute more, and then I'll be summarizing the slides. Yeah. Sustainability through water saving. The waterless urinal, we all know this has been implemented all across the space. This helps us reduce the entire use of naphthalene balls and conserve almost 90%. Some of the benefits are very well known to all of us. And then some of the people-based, or I would say protect and care for people-based approach is Soap for Hope program, where the soap generated from the hotels are directly converted into soap bars without using any water or electricity. So how do we choose a sustainable solution? Very clearly, 3 criteria. Look for the right certifications. Watch out how does it help people improve their people safety, and then also look for the profitability improvement for our customers. And therefore, if I have to summarize this, for the what are the possible green solutions for healthy building, is all the criteria to select are like biodegradable chemicals, super concentrate, environmental friendly, fast acting chemicals, and then waterless cleaning solution, the twister pads when used along with our machines. This is how we deliver cleaning without use of any chemicals. I also talked about waterless urinal, reducing plastic through innovative packaging, and then Tasky machines. One of the key things where diversity play a very significant role is by designing the right SOPs for our customer, where the performance can be optimized by using either pre-wetted systems or microfiber mops and duster. So thank you. And we all know this earth is not ours. It is a treasure we hold in the trust for future generations. So we work together to make our earth more safer and sustainable. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pandey. I think it was really a fantastic overview of what great work is being done by you and your teams in terms of driving the whole area of sustainable products, in terms of development, and thanks for sharing the vision of the company as well as the kind of work that you're doing with the GreenPro in terms of promoting and getting these products going. So I think really a great exposition of the benefits of the products and how they are really contributing to a cleaner and greener environment. Yeah, so really thank you so much. We have got some questions for you, but again, I will do it at the end of the session. And therefore, I would now move on to the next speaker, Ms. Rohana Sara, she's from the marketing function, being the business head for EcoWood Somani. Again, highly experienced, 9 years of experience in the service and marketing domain. She's an MBA in marketing from the Alliance University. Again, this is an area where we are really bringing a lot of aesthetics and a lot of functionality into the way buildings are being constructed, and at the same time taking into account how it can be ecologically friendly. You know, so the EcoWood part of it is actually coming from there, and therefore we would like to hear from Ms. Rohana about what is it that she has got to say in this whole area of sustainable buildings. Yeah, so over to you, Ms. Rohana.
Hi, I'll just quickly share my screen.
Yeah, sure. Yes, visible.
Yeah. Hi everyone, very good afternoon, and thank you for this great opportunity to be a part of GreenPro Summit 2021. So well, as Mr. Prashant Pandey, he clearly said that sustainable product and technology is very important for healthy building in today's scenario. And we in Somani Ply strongly believe, and it's a core principle, sustainability is actually a core principle. Well, let me quickly brief you about Somani Ply. Somani Ply, we are a distinguished manufacturer, exporter, and domestic supplier of high quality. I'm so sorry.
Ms. Rohana has exited the session. Sir, should we wait or can we move ahead with Mr. Mukesh Chandra's presentation?
I think we should go ahead with Mr. Mukesh Chandra then.
Right, we can move ahead. Let me share my screen.
Okay. So sorry for the interruption, and maybe we'll quickly introduce Mr. Mukesh Chandra, who is the AVP for Facility Management and Field Properties. Yeah, again, a very highly experienced electrical engineer with diversified experience across variety of areas, but largely in the area of facility management, real estate, and projects and energy audits and so on and so forth, with a very good understanding of IGBC and LEED certification. And he manages the services and process that supports the core business of the organization. So basically, we will have a lot of information sharing by Mr. Mukesh Chandra because of his experience and the area that he's working in, and I'm sure all of us will benefit from it. Over to you, Mr. Mukesh.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thanks, Mr. Sitaraman, and thanks CII for making me part of the GreenPro Summit. Let me share my screen first. Sorry, Rohana, if you are back, you can continue.
Yes, I'm really sorry. There was a technical glitch at our end. I hope I'm audible now.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, I'm really sorry for the error that has happened.
Perfectly okay.
Yeah. So, well, I was actually telling you to briefly introduce Somani Ply. Somani Ply, we are a distinguished manufacturer, exporter, and domestic supplier of high-quality plywood. We're incorporated in the year 2005, and we have earned a world-class reputation for providing the best quality and service to our customers across different sectors in construction, hospitality, commercial office space, residential, as well as in the real estate. Our guiding principle is quality with sustainability, and our focus always remains on providing unparalleled quality products to ensure the highest customer satisfaction. Our vision that we strongly believe in Somani Ply is to be a globally preferred plywood manufacturer and supplier. And our mission statement is we ensure customer delight. We give the best quality and services to the customer, and we make sure the customers are really happy. And we also believe in maintaining a friendly relationship with every customer. Well, at Somani, the topic that we're discussing today is about sustainability. And at Somani, sustainability is actually one of our main core principles that we focus on. And the plywood also that we manufacture are eco-friendly and environmental friendly. So, you can see here, as I have mentioned, right from sourcing to the raw materials that we use, our manufacturing process and the waste management, we give sustainability a high importance. So if I have to talk about sourcing, so in today's world, deforestation is a major concern when buying any wood coming from a non-sustainable forest. And also, despite various efforts from government to crack down on deforestation practices, illegal and damaging logging activities still exist. What in Somani Ply we focus is wood sourcing from a FSC certified forest. And we also focus on sourcing locally from nearly sustainable and renewable plantation area. That is one of our core main focus, where we are actually giving a livelihood to the people around as well. And also we have something called a Grow Green initiative, where every tree that we cut, we make sure we give a sampling away to the farmers there. So this is our Go Green initiative. Second is the raw material that we use. The raw material that we use is an eco-friendly raw material. Adhesive is one of the main important component in making a plywood. So we make sure that the adhesive that we are using have a very low VOC content in it and has less emission up to EO standards, E0 standards, sorry. Then comes the manufacturing process. So we strictly follow Q and QC process during the manufacturing. From core veneer cleaning to core veneer drying to hot pressing and final finishing, we check each and every process to minimize the waste and maximize the volume output, therefore giving us the lifetime warranty product. We also make sure that we have 0% waste in our in our factory. So when we produce any ply, we make sure that there's a very less waste that we actually produce. And so there are two different ways that actually comes out in our industry. One is a peeling waste. So what we do is we recycle them and we give it to the local sawdust mills to support. And second is the plywood edge cutting waste, and which we use it as firewood for our own boilers. So therefore, by doing this, we are practicing 100% waste management within our own factory. Well, since this topic is about healthy building, as I already said, that sustainability is one of our core principles, and we strongly believe in giving sustainability right from sourcing to our raw materials to our end product. So definitely, since we are talking here about healthy buildings, so money ply can be a natural partner for building sustainable, healthy buildings. There is a strong need to build sustainable building, and the choice of ply is a very important consideration to be made during the process. So there are various companies and developers that can achieve significant result in their carbon footprints and help build more sustainable buildings by using our ply products. And let me tell you some uses where you can actually use the ply in a green building. You can be used for the shuttering purpose. It can be used for fixed indoor fittings like your doors, like your windows. It can be used in different office and home furnitures. It can be used in ceilings, partitions, and your wall panels. So definitely, we believe in sustainability, and it can be achieved together for healthy buildings by using us eco-friendly and a sustainable ply like Somani ply. So let me briefly run you through our different product ranges that we have. So these are the different product ranges that we have, and our products comes in customized specification and sizes. So let me just quickly brief you about few of our ranges. And the first that I have to talk about is our MR ply. MR grade ply is actually a commercial ply that is mostly used by the office, the corporates, and those is mostly used for making interior office fit outs. The BWR and BW ply, these are water resistant and waterproof plies, and is mostly used for kitchen cabins and pantry where it is more of wet application. Flexible plywood, as the name suggests, we can see flexible. It is easily flexible and it can be bent, and it helps giving shape to any design. Next is a birch plywood, is actually a very niche product that we have. It is super smooth plywood. Its direct planed application can be used on surface like PU and decor. It is mostly used again for making different furniture applications. Next is our block boards. So block boards, it's made out of 100% pine wood, which is lightweight, and it's mostly used for making cupboards shutters. Our MDF and HDF boards. So it is mostly again used for making interior application and is usually denser than the ply. And next is our fire redundant plywood. So basically this is a fire resistant plywood that we have, and it is treated with a chemical that actually delay the burning process of wood. It means the plywood can better resist fire ignition and prevent the spread of fire. And mostly we use this in decks and balconies, workshops and sheds, halls and ceilings. And our final, the most important plywood that we have with us is film face shuttering plywood. So this Somani ply, we specialize in manufacturing film face shuttering plywood. And we are one of the largest manufacturer and exporter of shuttering plywood. In India, all the major construction companies, you name it, are using Somani ply for shuttering purpose. And to add on this, we would also like to mention that we have our manufacturing unit in Kochi, and we have a branch offices and warehouse across the country. And you can have a look on these are the different kind of plywoods that we have with us. So lastly, I'm going to talk why us. I mean, these are the few USPs, of our company, Somani Ply. So we work with the most top architectural firm in in the country. And we work with top architectural firm, top commercial builders, real estate developers, interior designers all across the country. We deliver fast and hassle-free, and we also give a lifetime warranty of our product. We manufacture 100% termite and borer-proof plywood. And our plywood, it comes with anti-microbial treated technology, and is also a calibrated plywood. And we have a strong presence and distribution across India. And we are well known for our best quality and service that we provide. And the best part is we are FSC and BIC certified product. BIS certified product. And as you can see, these are our major clients, be it corporates, be it construction, be it different architectural firm. So we work with different big companies like Facebook, L&T, Tata, different builders like Brigade, Puravankara, Satya, and the list goes on. And so, well, this is it. Like, I would like to thank you for giving us this great opportunity. We believe we should settle for nothing but the best. And when it comes to your plywood requirements, you choose the Somani ply. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you so much. And we'll get back with the Q&A as and when it starts after the presentation. So maybe I will now quickly introduce Mr. Mukesh Chandra to take over. So we've already introduced him from Brookfield. Sir, if you can take over the presentation, I think that would be fantastic.
Thanks, Ms. Rohana. Thanks, Mr. Sitaraman. And thanks, CII, for making me part of this GreenPro Summit 2021. Let me share my screen first.
Mr. Rohana, you can stop sharing so that Mr. Mukesh can share.
Yeah. One minute, I'm taking a little time. Okay.
Should I run the presentation from my side, sir?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
I was trying to, in fact, you know. Can you make it full screen?
Yes, sir. I made it.
So thanks everyone. I'm Mukesh Chandra from Brookfield Properties, and I would share some of the experience and the implementation process for sustainability, what we have done in our buildings. Basically, we manage the commercial spaces, and our clients' occupants ranges from top 20 company, top 20 multinational companies in our campuses. Can you go to the next, please? Yes. So Candor Tech Space is managed and served by Brookfield Properties. In fact, we are the part of Brookfield Properties, and assets we own in the name of stakeholders company like CBU Developers, Santiniketan Properties, Candor Tech Space Calcutta, Candor Tech Space Gurgaon, and owns almost 20.7 million square feet office spaces. We are successfully running the ITITS campuses located prime micro markets, Gurgaon, Noida, Calcutta, Bangalore, and Mumbai. Our mission for sustainability is, I'm sure that my previous speakers have covered in Camphil, diversity, and Godrej. And so similarly, we have also had a sustainability first always mission. We are constantly implementing solutions to lower our environment impact, because we believe building is a better tomorrow begins with us today. We know a cleaner future cannot wait. It is why we are recommended to reduce waste, saving energy, and manage resources across our portfolio. This is because we have made our campuses compulsory for LEED certification with IGBC and USGBC both, and same time try to put all standard in place and integrate innovative technology into our portfolios that help us create more efficient structures, because when it comes to sustainability, we are all in. So what we have decided, since we have acquired the properties as in various bases, and some of the properties are in construction stages and the development is in continuous phases. So what we decided, the building design concept, Candor Tech Space incorporates the use of the latest advances in material to bring to life an open groove, breathable facade. The facade provides a high degree of transparency into the lobby and common areas. It is also double glazed for stringent heat transmissions. Moreover, the facade design is in the sync with the mechanical services to optimize solar performance, acoustic performance, daylight penetrations, access to view to landscape areas, and passive glare control, while meeting the design intent and the architectural integrities. Most importantly, as the design of the building focuses on sustainability, it manages natural resources and conserve energy and water through maximum use of natural lighting, installations of sensor in various zones for effective and efficient use of lighting and electricity. For increasing water efficiency, in addition to use the mist kind of sprinkler in all our common areas, washroom, we also for last 3 years implemented the drip irrigation systems in all our horticultures in our all campuses. Drip irrigations in Candor campuses, the conventional water system for horticulture areas and green belts have been converted to drip irrigations. Drip irrigations can save water by allowing it to drip slowly to the root of the plants. Since the water goes directly to the plant's root, it minimizes evaporation. Indeed, when it comes to Candor campuses, the drip irrigation system with this sprinkler-based facility has resulted almost in 50% reductions of water usage for horticulture purpose. We have also done the metering so that we exactly measure what is the resulted outcome, and if we can something measure, we can definitely control. That is what our belief. Installation of efficient faucet aerators in Candor Tech Space campuses. Inefficient faucet aerators have been replaced with water efficient one to lessen the water uses. Yeah, next, the water efficiency development for green belts. Candor Tech Space campuses have been designed green belts or planned open spaces that are safeguarded from construction activities. The objective behind promoting the development of green belts in around campuses has been to increase the water entrapment areas. Also, green belts reduce the suspended particles in the air since the dust settles down with the grass cover. Native species of plants have been planted in these green belts to increase natural recharging of the groundwater through rainfalls. Also, we have, with the help of Noida Authority and the municipality of Gurgaon, we have adopted some center verges also and maintain with the help of our infrastructure. Also, we have implemented rainwater harvesting, which rainwater harvesting pits allow the rainwater to replenish groundwater by recharging the underground aquifers. It can be built to help the water infiltration in an area. There are a number of operational rainwater harvesting pits in Candor campuses, each with a water capturing capacity of 2 to 5 kiloliter per hour. These pits are cleaned regularly to maintain the efficiencies. Next, please. Ongoing with this is sewage treatment plant. Based in our campuses, maximum places based on MBBR technology with territory units and have installed across Candor campuses. The Candor has reused 100% of the STP treated water within the premises. In fact, all our horticulture uses and the process uses, we use the STP treated water. 100% wastewater from flushing is treated to make it reusable for horticulture, flushing and cooling tower makeup water requirement. The quality of treated wastewater tested through NABL accredited laboratory to meet the quality of standard as per Central Pollution Control Board regulations. The next is energy efficiency. As everybody is aware of that, whatever we could save, even 1 kilowatt hour of the energy would reduce almost 233 grams of carbon emissions. And with this awareness, everybody, there are regular training classes being conducted at all sides of the campuses, Candor campuses. At the core of the sustainable office and workplace design of Candor campuses is the goal of becoming more energy efficient. The company has implemented far-reaching energy efficiency initiative in the premises. For instance, there is a dedicated time schedule for lights to turn on and off automatically based on climatic conditions. Chiller and pumps too are operated as per climatic conditions with the chiller manager and plant manager. All top floor ceilings are covered with underdeck insulations to reduce the heat inflow. Energy efficient pumps and an effective building management system have been installed. All equipment and systems are covered under a plant preventive maintenance schedule and managed by advanced software. Since utilizing natural light leads to being energy saving, the campus uses natural lights wherever possible. And in our all campuses, we have centrally, chilled water plant by which we manage the air conditioning load of the occupied offices. We have chiller, and almost in all places we have centrifugal chillers with the environment friendly refrigerant, that is R134A. To combat the direct effect, the chiller employs the most environmentally friendly medium pressure refrigerant available, that is R134A, with no ozone depletion potential and no phase out date per the Monastery protocol. Utilizing R134A achieves better result than the soon to be phased out SCFCs 123. When using the US Green Building Council's template EAC4 to calculate the refrigerant impact on the project, the heat exchanger utilized on the chiller introduces proprietary falling film evaporator design that helps not only operate more efficiency but also allow us to reduce our refrigerant charges up to 30% beyond conventional chiller charge. And also we have installed automatic tube cleaning system so that descale problems are overruled and minimized. Therefore, the repeated descaling process is not required in the advanced chillers. Next, sir. And although maximum of our buildings in the campuses are having the utility on terraces, but wherever possible, we have installed solar panels, and combinedly, if I see, we have installed almost 2.3 megawatt capacity solar panels in 20.7 lakh million square feet area, occupied area. As part of its globals to go green and switch to sustainable, cleaner form of energy, Candor Tech Space initiated the setting up of solar power plant at its all campuses across India. And we are ensuring that in the new tower coming up, which are under constructions, are having solar panel, installed on the terraces. Next, sir. Everyone is aware of the city bus services. With the mindset of this, we also introduce a service called Settle. Settle is a service provider to us who is providing the bus on the contractual basis. We have started every year. Candor India signs renew a contract with the shuttle service provider. The employees of the campuses are educated about the Candor's Green Campus guidelines, and the same has to be followed by the employees. This guideline clearly states that the provision of the shuttle service as a recommended practice. The shuttle service greatly reduces the dependency on the personal automobiles as well as informal modes of transportation, causing huge reduction in environmental pollution as well as unavoidable traffic jams. In this way, we also assure a last knot connectivity to all of the employees to the metro/bus station. This idea has come because we have very less parking in our campuses. Although we have a planned capacity of 1,000 square feet per car, so going to almost in each campus 3,400 to almost 4,200 car parks dedicatedly allowed, even though we were not able to cater the traffic of car, and there used to be traffic jams in the campuses itself. I have seen the situation where 3 years before the occupants used to take almost 30 minutes to come out onto the approach road from the campus itself. Although we have infrastructure to handle say a design capacity of the cars, but it was very difficult to have a same traffic outflow in the approach roads. And the approach roads, when it get jammed, we used to have difficulties. And then that is why this idea came of having a combined transportation system, and we finalized a service provider for it, and it has worked very well, very effectively. It has worked. Next, sir. And in 2009, end of the year, we also had a contract with our service provider for having electrical vehicle charging points. We have made a modules of 16 to 20 car park slots, and which each 3 can be adjusted. So I mean, in each campuses, we started with 50 charging points, and these are the normal charging point and boost charging points. There are 2 types of charging stations are available, and we have both type of them with the installed capacity of 40 and 60%. 40% are the normal charge, 60% are the boost charge. Next, sir. We also zero down to the waste utilizations and management in all our campuses. All public areas have the access to waste collection bin. Collection bins are kept in regular interval along the main streets. Inorganic waste is taken away by the municipal waste collection bin. A part of the organic waste which collected from places other than mess and canteen areas are treated on site. Hazardous waste is generated from the machinery, DG sets, lights, batteries, etc., which separately collected and stored at dedicated e-waste room. All the wet waste and dry waste generated from the project premises treated using organic waste converter technology. We have OWC to the tune of say 500 kgs to 1200 kgs per day installed at our campuses. The compost generated from the organic waste technology is reused as a manure in the landscaping areas. This has reduced wet waste disposal from the campuses. Next, what usually problem we face here when one of the clients exits from the campuses and the new client comes, the old material is very difficult to reuse. But wherever possible, we try to reuse the usable items like say glass, carpet, frames, ACP seat, and the removed door. And old furniture is also being reused. Next. We have also made a part of policy wherein we have said that we will use only the green rated or sealed, green sealed or green supply chain management, wherein to reduce the exposure of building occupants and maintenance personnel to potentially hazardous chemical. What Dr. Prashant Pandey has said, we maximum not maximum 100% we use diversity chemicals, green certified chemicals. So Candor aims to progressively move towards 100% sustainable cleaning procedures and product equipments, and we will also take help of the diversities to make the SOPs so that if the SOPs are in place, we don't miss out anything. The building managers and purchase managers have made an inventory of cleaning products and materials currently used in the building, including hand soaps, hand sanitizers, genitalials, papers, products, and have consulted with product supplier to access credit compliant products. The purchase of all cleaning products and materials will be tracked during the performance period. If required, Candor will source additional cleaning products that meet sustainable criteria. So we would definitely look for options and also have trade-off in quantities and the qualities and the pricing. Next, sir. In our plantation drives in horticultures, we try to maintain the user-friendly horticulture spaces so that all occupants, feel happy when they visit to the campuses, and it also helps us in well-being of the occupants and whoever come to our campuses. We also have a drive for plantations. We encourage everyone visiting our campuses and give them free trees which are native, and they can take it to home and even plant it in central lodge or nearby gardens or managed by their RWAs. Next, sir. So although I have covered almost all uses in buildings, maybe somewhere what I felt that yesterday when I was talking to Hemant, we were of the opinion what Mr. Anil Chopra has already covered, that we spend more than 80 to 90% of our time indoor without full control over the potential cleaning chemical that are being used, or the air conditioned space what we are having, what the filtration methodology we are using. Offices, airport, gymnasium, stadium, daycare facilities, and many more other types of buildings which significant financial, health, and environment benefits simply by using Green Seal certified products and cleaning services. Idea is to have a better indoor air quality. I mean, less dust, less airborne bacteria, low VOC or no VOC, whatever is possible and feasible. Lower rate of illness, fever, asthma, attack, lung functions, and in this pandemic, we have come to know that what is the impact of having these in place. And the smaller footprint, energy use reduced, less waste, fewer toxins released. So these are the basic need which are driving us to go for the GreenPro certified products. What we can explore in the buildings, almost previous speakers have all covered their products, but I am sure some of them are missing. Maybe they are not belonging to them or in their product range. That is, sustainability improves through waste reduction and recycling, office kitchen and party supplies, IT equipment and management, transportation, staff engagement. Construction, if we talk about the new buildings, there are many more items which can be included in construction. Since I belong to facility management, the maximum time, and if we see the volume wise, what we need is the construction blocks and paper blocks which are getting damaged, and the concrete blocks, and basically in walkways on the roads or in the channelizing of the traffic, we maximum time fall back onto these kind of products which are need to be replaced or have certain less life. Similarly, for office furnitures, what Dr. Reena has covered for ergonomics, although chair, tables, everything includes in this. But for me, the curtain, carpet, glass, facade, partition doors, board, false ceiling, insulation, paints, and tiles. Maximum time when a new client comes, I can visualize and make out when I talk to their project managers. Maximum time, the ingredients for interior fit out is ranging from curtain, carpet, glass, something like that. So we can think of that if all materials are coming from certified range of GreenPro, I'm sure this is adding value to the and the well-being of the buildings. Next. This is for water treatment. Although we are using the Green Seal Pro certified water treatment chemical, I am sure more range can be possible. That is for potable water, processed water, and wastewater. And the quantities in the processed water is very, very huge, and we use NALCO products in this. I've covered for papers, which is used for printing, writing, food packaging, and sanitary. So here we insist that the reused, this paper is recycled paper we are using. Equipment and system, I'm sure the maximum people are aware of it. The equipment and system, maximum energy uses are in HVAC system. So it range from chiller, cooling tower, fan, insulation, piping, everything, and the water treatment. Solar panels, we are aware of that. Not only the panel modules should be certified, even the inverters which are changing the DC supply to AC supply, which can sync it with the grid, is very much required. These are the certification and award which we have received in last 3 years. So this is IGBC Platinum for all our sites, and in one building we are gold certified. We have also won prizes for the energy conservations and 5S certification. Yeah, next, sir. Some more awards for candor in real estate, and from B for 5 stars. 4 of our campuses are already 5-star rated, and the 5th one, Calcutta one, is the 3rd-star rated, which in this year we are trying to enhance to 5-star. Next, sir. Yeah, this is all from my side, sir. Thanks, everyone. Thanks. Yeah, Mr. Sitaraman, you can take over. Any questions?
Sorry, Mr. Sitaraman, he had to leave for different meetings, so he was short on time,
okay.
So he had to leave. But there are a few questions. I will be posing the questions to all the speakers. If you can just put your videos on, then I can start directing the questions to each individual speaker. Yeah. So first question is for Mr. Anil from Campbell. The question is asked here: various standards were mentioned. Are they applicable across globe, or do they vary from different type of climate? So is there a variation across them? Is the question, sir?
I think it's a very rightly asked question, because standards play a very major role. And if you see the standards which are ISO, those are globally accepted standard. And if you talk about the standard of ISO 16890, that is a air filter standard for general ventilation, that has been accepted by 100% votes globally. So we have basically all the standards are globally accepted. Okay, if I talk about EN 1822 also, that is also globally accepted, and we have a similar version in ISO also, and for our Indian IS form, which is released from BIS also, we have that equivalent standard. So these all standards are globally accepted.
Okay, sir. So next question is for Dr. Prashant. The question is, sir, there are various different products that are being showcased for multiple applications. So how much are they effective in the various applications that they are directed for? Is the effectiveness same, or do they vary across applications is the question.
Yeah, very what you can say, apt questions, I would say, because today that has been a practice where you have a all-in-one or a multi-application product to support ease of what you can say, applications, yeah, for users. Primarily answering this question, like it depends on the soil conditions, or I would say the desired level of cleaning efficacy. So definitely when we talk of efficacy, there are two types. Like either we are talking about microbial efficacy, then yes, depending on the concentration, or I would say as we vary the concentration of the product, the efficacy changes. And also various type of germ category, be it a bacteria or a fungus or yeast, mold, or maybe viruses, they are all they get killed at a different level of disinfectant concentrations. So if I'm talking about microbial efficacy, then yes, same product can be used at different concentration level to provide the desired results. And if I talk about only general cleaning, the moment I have the similar soil level, or the conditions are not very stringent, it will deliver the same performance. It is just a matter of up concentrating it when we go into a tough, or we desire to do a tough, what you can say, cleaning.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Next question is for Ms. Rohana. The question is that whatever you have showcased the products, they are mainly wood-based. So is there any initiative from Somani's side for reducing the usage of wood by using composites or other alternatives? So that's the question, ma'am. If you can answer it. Ms. Rohana, are you there? You can try unmuting. Okay. So I don't think Ms. Rohana is present. Okay, next question we will give it to for. Yes, ma'am. Are you here?
Yes. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I didn't. Can you just repeat the question?
The question is that the products from Somani are mostly wood-based. So is there any plan for shifting to alternatives for reducing the usage of wood? So that's the question.
Yes, right now we are actually dealing with all the wood products, and also the waste that comes up, we actually make particle boards out of it, MDFs out of it. But definitely we are, going to work on something which is actually, will be a like substitute of wood. But right now it's actually the timber that we're using for making our plywoods.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Next question is for Mr. Mukesh Chandra. So what are the parameters that you look at while implementing the green supply chain? So various parameters that you look for when procuring any product for your facility management activities. So that's the question, sir.
Yeah, Hemant, very good question. In fact, we have started now. Initially, we were, following as per IGBC guidelines and USGBC guidelines. We were looking as per the credit requirement. Now we have understood that with Indian standard, with GreenPro, we have started using the chemicals first, and have a plan to use all GreenPro certified product in all our consumptions, replenishments like paints, like this process chemicals, like the ingredients for STP uses, ingredients for housekeeping material, and for supply chain management. So we have started only and only with the chemicals now, and that too for our housekeeping requirement. And Camphil, Mr. Anil Chopra's product Camphil, we are using our HUs. So, and also sometimes we directly interact with our occupants and influence them to use GreenPro certified filters in their facilities. Sometimes it is, when we provide the bare cell, we provide the filtration along with the interior fit out. And when it comes to us, when the client is suppose leaving or coming, new clients are coming, we'll try to influence them. And also with Mr. Anil, I would have in his presentation, I have seen something other than the filtrations. One small unit was kept into the AHU. I am not aware of that. What is the technology? If it is there, we would be interested to learn further and get it implemented.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. That's great to hear. Even though there are a few more questions, since we overshot by a long time, so we have to close the session now. And just to address Mr. Mukesh Chandra's point during the presentation, yes, sir, there are multiple products that are currently GreenPro certified across various different product categories. There are 25 such product categories that we have so far certified the products across. You and all the attendees, they can visit our website ciigreenpro.com. Also, our directory is also available, offline directory for download and for reference. So you can use the directory to refer any requirements that you might have with respect to green products for building construction. And also there are a few active products also we have certified. So
Hemant, allow me a minute. I just
yes.
wanted to, thanks everyone for this long journey. When we started way back in 2004 in the building sector, wherein the certification standards were either not there or they were from other countries, and maximum recognition was to other entities. I'm happy, to share with everyone with kind of CII support and the IGVC continuous encouragement. We have come to a stage wherein we are talking of our indigenized certification system. So I would request everyone that the client side, that is, the user side, the still awareness is very less. Even I feel, ashamed of it that maximum product, even I'm not aware, wherein we make a purchase of to kind of maybe 300 to 400 CR every year for replenishment in building sector for just for 20 million square feet. I'm sure if you see the DLF, I was heading DLF earlier for almost 10 years and part of the maintenance team. So the replenishment or the cost of R&M in the existing building sector is huge to my understanding. I would request everyone that although the material procured during the construction is one time, whereas replenishment is on continual basis, and there are maybe 4 to 5% cost for the repair and maintenance. I'm sure the maximum materials being used, why should not be they having a certification like GreenPro and is feasible? So I would request everyone to explore further, probabilities and opportunities.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the kind words. Definitely, we have to bring in more awareness to the end user on why it is important to use sustainable products as part of their construction and other requirements as well. Just to wrap up the session, I would thank Mr. Sita Raman for for sharing the sessions. Sorry he couldn't be with us till the end because he had some other commitment. And also I would like to thank all the speakers, Mr. Anil Chopra for expanding upon the IAQ indoor air quality, its importance, and how we can address and improve indoor air quality. I would also like to thank Dr. Reena Valecha for her sharing her knowledge and experience with respect to how ergonomics play an important role in our day-to-day life, and also at our office or our home, how ergonomics play an important role and they impact our health. Then I would like to thank Dr. Prakash Pandey for bringing in his rich experience and explaining us about how various different chemicals can be utilized for making more sustainable cleaning process more sustainable, and also the after usage, how it can we can reduce the environmental impact post usage of the cleaning products. Then I would like to thank Ms. Rohana for expanding upon the various different ply-based products, how they can enhance the healthy buildings performance, and how various different products can be utilized, and how innovative products are there as part of ply manufacturing. And finally, I would like to thank Mr. Mukesh Chandra for bringing in the perspective of facility manager. What are the various different parameters that they consider, various different aspects that they look at when managing any facility: the energy part, the waste handling part, the water part. So for a huge facilities or huge buildings, the consumption of resources is high. So how they can use it judiciously, how a facility manager's perspective can make it more efficient. So thank you, sir, for sharing your perspective on this, and the initiatives of Brookfield Properties that they have taken in making their buildings more sustainable. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you all the speakers for being here and sharing their vast knowledge. I'm sure the attendees have gained significant insights in various aspects of healthy building. So with this, we will come to a close for this session. I would like to thank our sponsors, our supporters, Somani, EcoWood, Somani Ply, Green Ply, JSW Cement, and Tata Tiscon, who are our platinum supporters, and our associate supporters, Nippon Paint, USG Boral, and Pure Organics brand Uki, for their support to our 5th edition of GreenPro Summit. And also a final announcement that all the attendees, they can visit our exhibition, which is available on CII Hive platform virtually. So whatever we can't do physically, because it's not a physical event, we are trying to bring in the same experience through virtual means. So you can visit the exhibition, and you can go to various different stalls available for different companies, and you can make an inquiry there. And also we will request you to come back for tomorrow's session as well. There are various different sessions planned out for tomorrow and day after, addressing various different products. Since we cannot accommodate all the different product categories, sustainable products in a single session, we have spread it across 3 days sessions. So you can come back and you can get more information on these green products and sustainable initiatives tomorrow and day after. So looking forward to get you back tomorrow. Thank you everyone for joining, and have a good day.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pratik, we will be closing the session now. Yeah.